Everybody's tuning in, even my wife.
Mommy likes too.
And those Macromella intros are cutting like a knife. Hey, it's Mitch texting in, he's your dealer for life. Let's crack at 6 o'clock and log you with some sirloin bites.
What's up? It's game day. Welcome to the Nielsen Show. Dustin Nielson and Lieutenant Eric with you. YouTube Trev rolling with us this morning as well as we get you set for the Edmonton Oilers looking to make it an even dozen against the Seattle Kraken tonight. Your Edmonton Oilers, the hottest team in the National Hockey League, the best team in the National Hockey League since November 24th, the very first time we cracked a 6 o'clocker lager. So they've been absolutely rolling, and we'll get you ready for this game as we work our way through the day today. Rick, how you doing this morning, buddy?
As the song says, Mummy like two.
Mummy likes two. Jaunty in Victoria, you absolute legend. It's been a good week. Oilers have been rolling. We had a lot of fun on the show. Tell your friends about Edmonton Sports Talk and the content we're bringing to the table live every single day for now from 6 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon, but always streaming around the clock at on TuneIn and at EdmontonSportsTalk.com here on YouTube Live from 6 till 2 every single day. Let us know where you are listening from. We'll pin it on the map. How many places? We put like another half dozen places up there yesterday.
We entered China yesterday.
Well, the one place we went yesterday in China, Chongqing or something like that. Yeah. When we get over there, you and Zacticum, I think it was Zacticum, or was it you that said, is this even a real place? Like, is somebody just trolling us? And then we looked up, and it was actually on the bloody map. Like, we didn't even have to, like, search it somewhere else. It was on the map. So that was good. So let us know where you're listening from, and we'll pin it on our Edmonton Sports Talk World Map, which it's starting to fill up.
And our pursuit of filling up the country of Mexico, pretty much.
Yeah,
Mexico.
A lot of people go to Mexico, and a lot of people listen from Mexico. We crossed Tulum off the list yesterday. But, yeah, Mexico's busy. It's busy for the AM Nasty, which I really like. Damnus is in. It says, I'm in Cochrane. You know, we don't have Cochrane on that board yet. Oh, well, let's do it. I'll put it in there. We put a couple places in Saskatchewan on there yesterday.
Estevan,
and Lumsden added to the list yesterday. You can throw Cochrane up there today as well.
The jam-packed show today, hey?
Busy show.
Even if we had breaks, we would do away with them today.
And that's the best thing about it. We have, that's one of the things we like doing here, uninterrupted sports and entertainment content from 6 to basically 2 to 1 every single day. And we think that provides a lot as opposed to being on the radio and having to go to commercials for 7, 8, or 9 minutes and having to do business reports and things along those lines.
Imagine if we did half of this. We
couldn't do this show. It'd be gone. Like, we have a jam. But let me just lay this out there. And of course, if you need a conch this morning, let us know why. 780-218-9999. That'll get you right into the Paris Jewelers inbox. Valentine's Day is just around the corner, and you're probably sitting there like an idiot, all unprepared right now. Well, why not go take care of that with our friends over at PJ's Paris Jewelers. Visit them at parisjewelers.com. 22 locations across this country, and they will take care of your loved one, whether it be a man or a woman. They'll have things taken care of for you.
And if you're single, I mean, love yourself. Give yourself a little present. Hey, why not? Enjoy
it. And then go around your friends and just be like, oh, look what I got for Valentine's Day. And they'll be like, do you have a Valentine? I asked all my family to be my Valentine a couple nights ago at dinner. I said to Elizabeth, I said, will you be my Valentine? And she goes, yes, Daddy. I said, Marshall, will you be my Valentine? He goes, of course. And then Tam was a little hesitant on it. But I convinced her when it was all said and done. So the Nielsen family are all Valentines of each other. So that's exciting.
Yeah, I thought it was fair.
I thought it was fair. I thought it was fair. Zedmo says, now I feel compelled to be somewhere more exotic than Vegreville. With that being said, a lot of these smaller towns in Alberta have not sort of checked in on the map yet. So there's a lot to add there.
You want to be the first from Vegreville? Why not, right?
Congratulations, Edmo. Who says Vegreville's not cool? Am I right?
If you want to go a little more exotic? Our friends at EIA will be able to probably help you out there. Hey, just drive to the airport now and pick a flight and
Fly
go.
wherever you want to go.
Yeah, we'll put you on the map.
Fly wherever you want to go.
Easy.
And we can put you on a map. Dan says, did you guys pin Edmonton? I think we pinned Edmonton. I'm pretty sure Edmonton is pinned. All of our hometowns are pinned because we have family.
Capital region.
Yeah, a lot of it has been pinned. No pinning with Tasquin yet, though. That's weird. All right, here's the show for you today. We got Tales of the North coming up around 6:30 this morning to get you ready for the Oilers and Kraken. I don't know if I'll be able to do it better than Atif, who's already rolled in today. Should I try to do this in a Atif voice?
Absolutely, yes.
In a Atif voice.
Please.
If you have not yet met Atif, he's our man in the chair, and he will be at the Super Bowl party at Century Casino, Fort Road. We will be there, the entire crew. They're working on some rooms for us so we can stick around. And our plan is to do all of our shows from the casino the next day if they can make that happen. So that'll end up being pretty good.
He's the main player down at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge.
Yeah. He rolls in there, and they're like, Atif! And he's like, hey, guys! So here's from Atif this morning. It's the calm before the storm. A fresh, smooth sheet of ice sits at Rogers Place waiting for something scary from Seattle. Ooh. The only team that can handle this scary animal from Seattle is the sizzling hot Edmonton Oilers, who are looking for 12 in a row. Tonight's opposition from Seattle was no ordinary animal. They like to say, as they like to say in the movies, release the Kraken. Atif, there you go.
Brilliant.
Atif, you got to love that, right?
The spelling, the grammar.
Nailed it. Nobody sets up a game like our man, Atif. And you'll catch him at a bunch of Oilers games rolling around, too. So you go find Atif. He is an absolute beauty. Phil, live from a balcony in Banff. We don't have Banff in there. We don't really have anything right in the mountains on that list yet either. Put that on there. That was into the inbox at 780-218-99. Wandering River. There's a Burger King in Wandering River.
That's a little nugget of knowledge there, eh?
I used to drive through Wandering River all the time when I lived in Fort Mac, so. All right, keep those text messages rolling in. One of you could end up winning text of the day today. That bad boy is going to be for A&W, which is always exciting, isn't it? What are you getting at A&W this month? You're getting the Spicy Dill Pickle Mama Burger. Back for a limited time. And now, available as a Buddy Burger. Starting at just $3.99.
This drum's coming. Hey, now we're cooking. Yeah, now you're going.
We're talking... Oh, I like this line. Make it a pickle party with the Spicy Dill Pickle Mama or Spicy Dill Pickle Buddy Burger at your local A&W. It's got that creamy Spicy Dill Pickle sauce slattered on that son of a bee. You're going to get your hands on this only at A&W.
Mm-hmm. What was that line about the pickle party?
Yeah, make it a pickle party.
Pickle party.
I don't know how I'm just picking. I've been reading the shorter read for most of the month, but this pickle party read is awesome. Marshall's been saying this all the time lately. Oh, pickles. I'm like, why are you saying pickles all the time? I don't know if it's from a show or some of his little buddies at
Playground
school do it.
Slang,
He's been saying pickles all the time. I'm like, come on, man. What is this about? I don't know if it's like a funny joke, but yeah, I like this. Make it a pickle party at A&W. We actually got some people coming by from A&W today. We have a great relationship with A&W. Like, we asked for them to bring back the Whistle Dog for years. It finally happened. They were one of the first clients to hop on board with us here with the Nielsen Show at Edmonton Sports Talk. They provided us with ba-da-bum-bum.
Potential set of the Estes.
Yeah, potential Estes host.
Who knows?
When they had the store just down the road here was the number one A&W in Canada. Popped over there to that event. That was a good time. We worked with them on a documentary for the Whistle Dog, which was amazing. We went to the viewing with them and stuff. And somebody's coming by today to like talk to us about our relationship with A&W.
I like how you say
something else again.
Somebody. What if it's just the bear? What if
That would be
just-
amazing.
Let's send the bear.
Yeah.
Like, waddling
I know,
on in,
the bear comes in and interviews us.
but just sits there in silence.
Yeah. Are we supposed to say something here? What's
Give me a sucker.
what are your thoughts on this? Yeah, what can you say to us right now? Yeah, we get it. We get it. There's the horn and stuff, the tuba.
Stone Cold Glass when he walks in.
That'd be pretty good. So anyway, it's a busy day around EST, that's for sure. But busy day on the show. Tales of the North coming up. We got to get to this play-by-play announcer. I feel like if we don't address this, people are just going to keep tweeting it at me. So
Maybe save it till I got beef. Actually,
I want to get to it in the 6 o'clock hour.
no, but I might use it in that.
Oh, you might use it when
I-
you got beef. I got a couple of beefs today that popped up this week. So we'll get into that. That'll happen around 7:30. Luke Gazdic, Midsoft Podcast, Sportsnet, does a great job. Rising star in the biz. Happy to have him on board. He'll be by just after 7 o'clock this morning. The Cool Bet hotline of the day. The Mavs did not cover the 3.5 against the Lakers last night, which means we didn't cash the bet, but that's not a shame. The Lakers looked good last night. I don't know what it means. They're so damn inconsistent.
Raps with a big win in the post-Siakam
Boy, yeah,
era.
we'll
hey?
get into the Siakam trade today for sure. Another youngish piece, a couple years younger than Siakam, but a bunch of picks. And I guess kind of the last link to the great Raptors team that got lucky because KD got hurt in the finals.
We're off and running. Don't look back.
I got beef around 7:30. Ian Rapoport's going to join us. How about those damn Dallas Cowboys? Mike McCarthy lives.
What a twist.
Yeah, so we'll get into that with Rap Sheet. We'll probably hit on that in the 6 o'clock hour as well. If there are any Dallas Cowboys fans, Dallas Cowboy fans who are listening this morning, I'd love to know where Cowboys fans come out on Mike McCarthy rolling back. 3 straight 12-5 seasons just implode at the worst time over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So
After Jerry Jones was floored.
yeah. I don't know. Kind of easy trivia for Mr. Mike's. The third hour of the show is insanely busy today. Kind of easy trivia for Mr. Mike's. 3 questions too many for Park Mazda. The orange and blue breakfast for Mobile One and Blue Water Lubricants. Geroy Simon, assistant general manager of the Edmonton Elks, is going to join us. And Scalding Hot Takes for Claiborne Services. If you're looking for work, Claiborne can take care of you. They are looking for apprentices. They're looking for journeyman bricklayers. They will train you from the bottom up, and they'll keep you safe at Claiborne. YouTube Trev. Last week,
Did you get a job
winning
there?
Scalding Hot
Oh,
Takes. No. Also, YouTube Trev, I've got you a part-time
side gig,
job
eh?
laying bricks in the afternoon. You're welcome. You'll make more money there in a week than you will here in 3 months. But you defend the Scalding Hot Takes mitt today. What's the pressure been like as a champion all week?
Yeah, it's been pretty exciting. I've been looking forward to it all week.
Have you?
Yeah, I've just been taking notes and I've had a few calls. You should do this, you should do that. So I have a lot of options, but I'm sticking with my heart. No help from anyone. This is all me, and I cannot wait to defend it.
Oh boy.
Let's go.
Did you take out the mitt, whining and dining it? Or
Yeah. I was wearing it a lot the first few
Celebration.
days.
Good, you should have. Yeah, that's what we want.
Tommy
That's what we want.
was like, "Why are you wearing that darn mitt?" And I'm like, "Why not? I just
Of
want
course, Tommy would call it a darn mitt.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, this guy.
Shame.
That'll happen probably around 8:45 because Gager's in on the hangout today. So, what do we have to call him? Your Honor, the judge. I haven't got him his outfit yet, but I'm going to. I
Your
got to put that in my phone.
Maybe your grace.
Yeah. How great is my to-do list when I'm adding by Gager a judge's costume? This is a weird one. We'll get it in there, though. Hopefully get that for next week. It'll be a great look for him. So, yeah, Gager will be by. Gager will be back on 2 guys and a goalie today as well, and he'll be on the hangout from 9 to 11 today. Kevin Radomski from the Oil Kings is going to be in today as well.
Raleigh, North Carolina.
Raleigh. I like that one. How many of you are just listening when you're on a vacation, or how many of you? Let us know if you're like on vacation or this is your home base.
Well, this guy's texting before us, North Carolina Oilers fan. I would
so
assume
he
that
would
he might be a.
It'd be a weird thing to leave Edmonton, travel down there, and describe yourself as North Carolina Oilers fan if you're just there for like 4 days.
The old rotating handle.
That would really not make a lot of sense. So anyway, a conch for all of you listening around the world. Squiddy is from Calgary. Put it on the map. Calgary must already. I think Calgary's already. Already on the map.
We don't need to put garbage dumps on the map, eh?
Oh, man, you always make the funniest Calgary's a dump jokes. It is just banger after banger after banger. That's great. Here we are. Rusty Shackelford is in and says, Cowboys fan checking in here from Bentley. Put it on the map. With my daughter who's getting ready for school, no surprise that there was no coaching change in Cowboys land. Jerry is not one to make changes. Case in point, Jason Garrett.
Well,
McCarthy has gone 12-5 and won the division twice.
The offense was cooking
in the last 3 years.
Just can't.
The offense was deadly.
They played really well at home, which is funny that you get the home field
and
only
to go out that way. But this would have to be the last kick at the can then for Mike McCarthy. Like, if they start the season, and I don't think they will because they're a good regular season team. They've proven to be a good regular season. Dak Prescott is a good regular season quarterback. But if they come out of the gate like 4-4 next year, they're like, that's enough.
But maybe you're looking in the division that, with all the chaos going around with the three other teams, that you just kind of, run it back again, see what happens. Like, you're the most... who knows what happens? Sirianni, the Eagles, right? Commanders it's a fresh day there. The Giants are still the Giants. As you say, one more time, hey? One last kick.
Dusty, where did you get your hands on that A&W theme? I love it. It takes me right back to when you could drive into the A&W across from Coliseum Steak and Pizza. That's in from Johnny the Accountant. I got my hands on that from A&W. They emailed it to me and said, here, use this. We're bringing it back. So we've got it forever, which is great. Pickle party sounds like the parties I went to in high school. Because of the lack of ladies. Right? It's all the boys out. Good old-fashioned pickle party.
Pickle out.
Hey, Connor, it's me, Mess, the Moose. You want to come to my pickle party? Guys, I was listening in high level all summer. And when you guys started again, well, that's nice. Thanks for that. 780-218-9999. We are coming at you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studio where you can get your hands on the Zach Hyman. Time's running out on the Hyman Collector Cup, but you still got Nurse and Ekholm and Nuge on the way. Swing on by Popeyes, any of the locations, and get the Oilers meal, okay? $16.99 for the Popeyes meal. You'll get the Collector's Cup. You get the spicy or regular chicken sandwich. You get the Cajun fries. You get the nugs. You get the dipping sauce. You get the medium drink. And then you get the Collector's Cup, which I had on the desk, but Tommy's OCD, and he made me take them off yesterday during Oil Stream because it was absolutely driving him nuts. So they're sitting right over there right now. Jeez. He can't do it. I can't deal with anything on the table while we're doing Oil
Really?
Stream. It was a thing yesterday.
What
you got to go watch or listen to Oil Stream from yesterday because that was the thing.
Well, you need to put more things on the desk than during Oil Stream. That's kind of the next
Somebody
move there.
yesterday was like, hey, Dusty.
He's shown his hand.
Dusty, put your hat down on the desk during Oil Stream. I was like, okay, let's see what happens here. It was like right about here, and Tommy would bat it out of my hand. Like, Yeah. He rattled himself because he left his computer plugged in while we were doing it. He goes, look at my charger. I was like, are you kidding me? Look at my desk. I had two mouse. There's a lot going on there. Jocelyn is in. It says that A&W song lives rent-free in my head.
It's an earworm.
All day long, especially now that you link it with being a pickle party, It's a pickle party. Come and get your pickles.
You need that in the grocery stores as you're walking down aisle 7, right? Just what the hell is going on here?
All right. Conch, 780-218-9999, or in the nasty chat this morning. The Edmonton Oilers look to make it 12 in a row. I know many of you were talking about it in there a little bit earlier. What is the current record for a winning streak in the National Hockey League? And you have to go back to the 1992-93 Pittsburgh Penguins. If you know what, this is wild to me. The Penguins, so that 92-93 Penguins team, that's the team that ended up losing after winning back-to-back. They lost in overtime to the New York Islanders. David Volek buries the winner. I remember as a Habs fan, I was like, oh, God, I do not want the Habs to have to play the Penguins in the conference final. Instead, Glenn Healy and the Islanders upset Super Mario and the Penguins, and a team that won 17 straight in the regular season does not make the conference final.
One of the best goalie masks in the game, wouldn't you say? Hey,
Glenn Healy, a lot of creativity behind the lid of old Mr. Healy, who joined us on the show for a season a long, long, long time ago.
Yeah.
That's where we were rotating through some of the CBC hockey guys back in the day.
Panger too. Hey, remember those days? Eh?
So the Penguins won 17 in a row. That was a stacked team. I'm going to save the team that has the second most wins of all time because I don't think you would have ever put this on the list, and it happened in the last decade. The Islanders, doesn't surprise us, the 81-82 Islanders. Sidney Crosby's Penguins in 2012-13, 15 wins there. The Boston Bruins in 1929-30. Remember that Bruins team? My God, they were deadly. The Bruins.
Was Bepp involved in that one?
No, this was before Bepp Guillotine or whatever.
Guillotine.
Guillotine. Is that guillotine? I don't know.
Yeah. Respect.
Anyway, the 29-30 Bruins won 14. The Capitals in 2009-2010 won 14. I think that was the team that Yaroslav Halak upset in between the pipes for the Habs in a stunner in the playoffs that year. The 70-71 Boston Bruins won 13. The 85-86 Philadelphia Flyers won 13. The Devils in 2000-2001 won 13. The Florida Panthers won 13 2 years ago. The New Jersey Devils won 13 last year. So the Edmonton Oilers creeping up into that top 10 category. Yeah, a little ways to go. I think they're just outside the top 30. Yeah, here they are. They're 32 right now. If they were win tonight, it would bump them up into the 18th longest winning streak in NHL history. Can either of you guys name the team that won 16 games back in 2016-17 to have the second longest winning streak in National Hockey League history? I forgot about this. It's a team that I would describe as not very memorable, and I can't even tell you probably 10 guys who are on this roster.
Thrashers.
No, but not far off. And not the Jets either. I'm not trying to tie that in there.
Drawing a blank here. Man.
Let me give you
16, 17.
Yeah, what's that?
Predators.
No, Columbus Blue Jackets. The Columbus Blue Jackets hold the record for the longest, or second, one behind the juggernaut Pittsburgh Penguins, who did lose in the playoffs. The 16-17 Columbus Blue Jackets won 16 in a row, which is just insane. I got to bring up this Blue Jackets roster.
Yeah, what were they cooking with back then, eh?
16-17. Like, that's even post-Rick Nash. Who was on the Blue Jackets in 2016-17?
Well, let me tell you here.
Let's see here.
Well, one of them we might see tonight. I do believe Alexander Wenberg.
Oh, you know who was on that team? Sam
Gagner.
Cam Atkinson led that team in scoring that year with 62 points in 82 games.
Boone Jenner. Josh Anderson.
Brandon Saad. Brandon Dubinsky. Seth Jones. Scotty Hartnell. Yeah, a young Josh Anderson. A young William Karlsson.
Bobrovsky in goal.
Bobrovsky must have gone on an absolute.
That was that must have been it.
Heater then. Lori Korpikoski played 9 games for that team.
And who was the head coach?
Yeah, Torts.
Of course.
Yeah. But I mean, it's so. I don't know if we read into that, I'd be like, man, you don't have to be a great team to go on a heater like this. But the Oilers have great players. That team didn't have any great players. They obviously had a great goaltender who was phenomenal. That must have been that had to have been a Vezina winning season for Bobrovsky, right? I would think what did he have? A 931 and a 206. Let me just double check. Yeah, he won the Vezina. That was his second Vezina for Bobrovsky. But yeah, that's I mean, they're getting up to elite territory here. And I said yesterday on Wall Stream, if they win tonight, I think they run the table the rest of the month. I don't know where I come out on tonight's game. We'll get into that as we work our way through the show. Gazdic just after 7 today. But if they win tonight, I love them against Calgary. I know Calgary's been playing better, but McDavid and Nuge and Hyman against the Calgary Flames on a Saturday night, like I just feel like Connor gets that one done. And then they got 3 more next week that are not very difficult. Nashville would be the biggest test of the 3 next week. So I asked Tommy yesterday, I said, do you think this is just way too much of a homer take to say that if they beat the Kraken, they run the table on the month? And then that would take them up to 16 games, which would tie them for the second longest winning streak in National Hockey League history. What say you, folks? Hit us up in the nasty chat or text us at 780-218-9999. Could they make it 17? Could they continue to get it done? This would be 12 tonight if they get by the Kraken.
Or will they get to Tommy Rubella's 20 as he...
Tommy's 20. That's what it'll always be known as.
That's the high watermark.
In order to tie the Penguins record, they need to beat the Kraken, or as Atif says, release the Kraken.
With an I.
With an I.
Let it be noted.
The Flames.
And then
the Blue Jackets.
The Blue Jackets. Wouldn't that be something, hey?
The ultimate role of spoiler. The Blue Jackets, the Hawks. Now, the Hawks played them pretty tight last time. I mean, I don't know if they can play
in
them
Chicago. I don't know if that.
The Preds. And then the tying one would be down in Vegas against the Golden Knights, which could be good.
Yeah.
So,
kicking off a 3-game California trip. But you're right. January should be, I think you could say it, right? It's attainable.
I think so.
Flames are playing pretty good as of late, though, and that one down Calgary. Saturday night rivalry game. Yeah, I know, but things can happen in those events.
Penner's Pancakes in says that stupid Saturday afternoon game against the Preds is only worrisome. And that's the last one before break, obviously. So, yeah, we'll see. What do you think? What do you think they can get to? Well, guys, I don't want them to win that many. You need a loss here and there first, so the coaches can coach.
I think people mind if you drop 1 or 2 and then go on another one, go on another 8-game or 9-game, right? Like reset, recharge. But this is fun. You don't want to get off the ride while it's,
I can't believe that the Blue Jackets, with a middling team, won
John
16
Tortorella.
in a row. No wonder Torts keeps getting jobs all over the place.
Cam Atkinson.
Probably just has a resume. He just puts it down and says, won 16 in a row with this roster. I think I can coach. All right, let's get to a sports update. When we come back, Tales of the North to get you ready for the Oilers and the Kraken tonight. We've got an interesting clip of a play-by-play man, a young play-by-play man. And we're trying to figure out if it's staged to try to go viral or if he was legit that scared of a puck flying over his head. We'll get to this coming up here in the second half of the 6 o'clock hour. Let's get to a sports update for Green Plan.
Oilers chasing their 12th straight win tonight. They're at home to the Seattle Kraken. You can join Tom Gazzola and YouTube Trev for the Oil Stream pre- and post-game shows right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Coverage starting at 5:30 this evening. 2 games last night. Dylan Larkin with the overtime winner. Wings over the Panthers 3-2. And Cole Caulfield with the go-ahead goal. He had a 2-point net as Montreal defeat the Devils 3-2. Action from the AJ Brooks 7, Bonnyville 2, Calgary doubling up the Crusaders 4-2, Canmore 3-1 over Grand Prairie, and Camrose edging out Olds 3-2. Action will resume tomorrow night with another 4 games. PWHL from last night, Boston over Toronto 3-2, while Minnesota get past Ottawa 3-2 in overtime. Action will resume Saturday with a pair of games. The Raptors with a 121-97 victory over the Heat. Toronto hosts the Bulls tonight in one of 5 games around the NBA. Earlier in the day, the Raps shipping Pascal Siakam to Indiana for a pair of players and 3 first-round draft picks. You can join the entire Edmonton Sports Talk crew for Super Bowl 58 live at the Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. Centric Casino Fort Road, February 11th. Menu items under $10. Drink specials and your chance at prizes throughout the day with the host, the one and only Renee. This sports update brought to you by Green Plan, providing you with award-winning environmental planning and consulting services. Whether it's municipal, industrial, or residential, plan it right with Green Plan. Visit green-plan.com or give them a call, 780-455-4292.
The Nielsen Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Nielsen Show Uninterrupted continues to roll along. Thank you very much for being here. If you're watching on YouTube, we appreciate it. Hey, if you're watching our content right now and you've not yet subscribed, it's super easy to do. If you want to turn on notifications, you'll get a little notification when our shows go live. If you just want to subscribe and don't have the notifications on, that's fine too. But we're just seeing so many people are watching the content but have not yet subscribed, and just politely asking for subscriptions has actually really been working. We're well over 6,500 now, and our push towards 7,000 subs, as they say in the biz. And next on the target list, Mr. Beast. So that should be fun. We'll get him. We will get him, even if it takes us all staying in this room for 100 days for $20.
I'll download that stupid game.
Yeah. Are you playing my game? I don't know. Are you playing your? I like the guy, to be honest. I think he's super creative.
Never met him.
But he is going down. Did you say never met him?
I still don't get I'm out of the loop.
I'm kind of curious.
Mr. B.
Where'd the name Mr. Beast come from? He's kind of come up with that bad
Not
boy.
a beastly figure. Like, he's not like he looks like a pretty nice individual.
But did somebody start giving him the nickname like Zacticum or YouTube Trev?
Yeah. But I mean, why? It's not like maybe it's calling like the big guy tiny, you know? Like,
well, yeah, because there's nothing about him that comes across as beastly. He seems like a very nice guy. So yeah, maybe it's just one of those ironic, hilarious names. That could be it. The Oilers and the Kraken tonight. Couple other things to get to. We're going to dive into this Toronto Raptors trade. The Raptors have officially transitioned out of that old group. Lowry gone, Van Vliet gone, Siakam gone. Do you like how they came out of it? Raptors fans, hashtag Association City. What do you think?
Like the picks.
Yeah, Bruce Brown won a title with Denver. So there's some
little pedigree.
Championship pedigree in there. He's 27. He's having a career year, about 12 points per game. He'll have a more elevated role with the Raptors. So we'll see how it plays out. But I thought the return for Siakam himself was pretty darn good. I also love the fact that I saw yesterday. We shouldn't be talking this much Raptors when we're sitting here at Tales of the North here, but I love the fact yesterday that it was known that the Raptors were not going to give Pascal Siakam the Supermax, because that means they at least have their act together, because Pascal Siakam is not a Supermax caliber player. He just is. He's a great player, but he's not a Supermax guy. So
you got to move, right? That's what they say. They're moving.
Yeah.
You move.
Bingo.
Good on the Pacers, though. I'm excited to see what they pull off this season. 7th in the East right now. 7-3 in their last 10.
The Wolf is in. It says there's 245 watching, but only 45 likes. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe for the North.
I forgot as well, yeah.
That was good, too. All right. Tales of the North coming up. The Oilers and the Kraken. Had some good suggestions last night for Tales of the North names for Ryan McLeod, who I think has done enough recently to significantly factor into Tales of the North today. Are you ready, Lieutenant Eric?
Ready when you are.
All right, here we go. Tales of the North to set up the Oilers and Kraken.
Who owns the North? Who owns the North? Show me! Oh, there, Yamamoto. From a Greyjoy to an Ironborn, ye be.
Tonight in the North, a Kraken emerges from the Pacific coast and attempts to attack the District of Ice, wrapping its greasy tentacles around Rogers Place, hoping to tear it apart and carry it back to the depths below. But this monster will have to wait another day to claim victory, because that belongs to Connor the Incredible and his brave boys in orange and blue. Despite familiar faces on the other side of the battle, Kate's clan of millionaire men will show no mercy in their search for a dirty dozen. Emerging as a hero for the past fortnight is the mighty McLeod, Ryan the Toothless, the fleetest of foot, Half-Grin, claiming victim after victim, and tonight he tastes Kraken. Nom 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 nom. These are the tales of the North, and may they be heard far and wide across this great land.
Tatar the Unsullied.
All right, so Oilers and Kraken tonight. And Ryan McLeod's been playing pretty well as of late. Not pretty well. He's been playing extremely well. Extremely well. 11 points in his last 10 games. That's not sustainable. Like, McLeod's not rolling. I don't think it is. I don't think McLeod goes from, like, not being able to produce anything at all to all of a sudden being a point-per-game guy. But there's this happy middle ground that you're hoping that he finds where he can put up, like, 6 points every 10 games. Push the pace. Be a guy that Chris Knobloch has faith in to sort of elevate up in the lineup in certain moments, which he really never was before.
No.
Right? So
I think, too, it embodies a bit of swagger and what the team is bringing as a whole as well, and it's good to see. You need the depth, and we've talked about depth before at this club and sometimes how it goes missing. And it's good to see. And again, if Nobby can continue to pull the levers and adjust the buttons ever so slightly, right, as we saw in last game, that just perks him up even more as well. I think the coaching is doing good. The players are showing up, the confidence, the swagger. You look for that to continue. The Kraken, two in a row, but they were on that heater as well, keeping pace in that wild card chase. So should be another good game tonight.
yeah, this is by no means a walkover affair here. This is a nice stiff test, and I hope Pickard gets it tonight.
And I was looking at the Kraken's 9-game. I mean, there was some opponents in there that we would say are lesser than, but, you know, anytime you can rifle off a heater like that, it's something to be said. So, yeah, it should be a good game, but one, too, that, you know, outside of the Leafs coming by, and I know they've had their struggles, that game kind of worried me a little more from an Oilers point of view than tonight would be. Fair?
Fair. The doc is in. It says, boys, at what point does Chris Knobloch get put into the Jack Adams convo? Does it happen if they reach like a 16-game win streak? Because he should be in that breath if this continues. That one is in from the doc.
Give it to Koff.
I think I have. Yeah.
Give it to Koff.
Koff gets a lot of credit.
Yeah.
Some people thinking maybe a little bit more credit than he should. I think I have an answer to this, though. If Chris Knobloch can take the Oilers from where they were when he took over and they win the division, I don't know how you, and I know right now it looks crazy where the Canucks are at. They do have a bunch of games in hand. They have a head-to-head. Was it Noodles that brought that up yesterday? Yeah, because Noodles says he took a bunch of heat from Canucks fans. Like, the Canucks will cool off a bit. At this point, they should still win the division. But if the Oilers take advantage of the 4 games they have in hand and win the head-to-head, then you only need a couple other games swing here or there to maybe take a run at it. If Knobloch, I think he should be in the conversation even if they don't win the division, considering 19 of 22 right now, and where does this end? But if the Oilers somehow win the Pacific, he would have to be a finalist for Coach of the Year. He just have to be.
Just the visible change. Like, depending on where they finish, just the record itself, pre and post Knobloch. It's night and day, right? Just how the team's playing, how the structure and everything else. So you can set these marks, and that's probably where the voting comes in. But just right now, what they're doing, sure, I would agree with the texter. Why not?
Guys, I liked Halfgren. Yeah, Halfgren was one I came up with. Like, there was a lot of good names on Twitter last night. I took a couple of them, like Ryan the Toothless and stuff like that. But I was sitting there, I was like, there's got to be some sort of clever name with the teeth and the smile. And I just thought Halfgren really works. It's like clean cheeks. You know, that type of thing. Yeah, interesting. Look, somebody in the nasty chat today said, Talk It or Bones, as they call him in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
And those guys will probably win Coach of the Year. But what if Chris Knobloch leads the Oilers from an absolute train wreck to first place in the division, a spot that they were like 20 points out of at one point?
Send him to the All-Star game.
I think it's a valid conversation.
Knobloch to the All-Star game.
RCN says, this may shock everyone, but Stoff put Knobloch into the Jack Adams convo the other day. Well, I mean, come on, of course.
That's why I hired him.
VR Montenegro says Bones should win the Adams. If I had that, I'd probably agree with that. Like, if I had a vote, I'd probably go Bones over Talkit. If it was like decide today. But let's see where this thing ends up. There's still half a season. There's half a season left.
I'll say this. The Flyers are second in the Met, led by who? John Tortorella.
John Tortorella, the very man who once led the Blue Jackets with Cam Atkinson as their best player.
The whole roster was trade bait
16 in a row.
For crying out loud. They won 4 straight. Look at them go.
Yeah.
Dealing with the whole mess of, what's his face? There's going to be something said there.
I want to get to, this one here. This is a guy's texting into the show for the first time. And this made me think of a young Jesse Puljärvi who scored again in the American League 2 games in a row now.
Heating up.
That one should have been stopped last night, but whatever. This one is in, says, can I please get a conch? Okay. Can I please get a conch as I recover at home from a full hip replacement yesterday? It's great being able to watch live instead of just listening like I usually have to. Great Tales of the North. You guys are awesome. My name is Erlenmeyer.
Hell of a handle.
Erlenmeyer.
Just went like Prince.
Right. What's your first name? I don't have one. Well, what's your last name? I don't have one. I only have one name.
Erlenmeyer.
Erlenmeyer.
Incorporate him in Tales of the North next episode.
Yeah, what does a guy named Erlenmeyer do?
Kicks
Your
ass.
text.
Yeah.
Erlenmeyer. That's amazing. Anyway, Erlenmeyer, best of luck in the recovery from full hip replacement surgery. Yeah. But, I mean, technology nowadays is incredible, right? We're replacing hips. How long has this been going on for? Okay, let's get to this clip. There's probably something we can have. I got him labeled in here as scared play-by-play kid. So you know who first tweeted this out? I saw former NHLer Bobby Beers.
Oh, okay. Well,
anyway,
didn't have that one.
Listen to this and tell us if you think this is a guy who's trying to go viral, like old Dougie Roach, who we'll probably revisit here just because we can. Or is he legit this scared by a puck? I got a theory on this. Let's take a listen.
The rush. Pulls it back there, and now...
Wait a second. Stop right there.
Stop the tape.
Stop right there. I did not expect the
what was
rush
that?
right off the top. All right, here, let's take another crack at it. Here we go. We might get stopped along the way here a few times.
The rush. Pulls it back there, and now Murphy. Murphy throws the pass across. And that puck's going to go out of play here, and that's going to do it for that sequence right there. 9:25 left. I apologize if I just damaged your eardrums there. It went right over the mesh, right over my head. So, oh my God, I apologize for that. I'm sorry. Everyone's few people look at me. I'm fine. I'm fine. Oh my God, as I apologize for that one right there, and for saying, oh my God, I shouldn't be saying that. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm just trying to catch my breath here. All right, as we're back to this thing, Rush here with it.
All right, so, got right back to it. That seems sticky, doesn't it?
What a weasel. Oh, my Lord.
The puck didn't hit him. It went over his head. And to me, the puck going over your head would not make you yell for that long.
That's shorter than a second.
Right, the puck goes over your head, you're like, oh!
Yeah.
But it was like, I feel this is like a bit.
It's like when Silverchair came out post-grunge.
It has to be fake. Now, it's not, I don't think it's been called out as fake. A bunch of people have been retweeting it.
It is funny on itself. Like it's...
Yeah, but it sounds staged to try to go viral. Because the scream there is, the best part about this is the rush.
The rush. Pulls it back there, and now Murphy. Murphy throws the pass across. And that puck's going to go out of play here, and that's going to do it for that sequence right there. 9:25 left. I apologize if I just damaged your eardrums there. It went right over the mesh, right over my head, so...
It went right over the mesh and then over his... The screaming seems to go on too long.
Would have made more sense if he got hit by the puck.
I think.
If it got him right between the eyes.
Yeah,
then that scream would be justified.
Yeah,
I'm bleeding.
I don't know. Something doesn't...
A little Peter Griffin-y, though, as somebody points out in the nasty chat as well. He's got kind of that...
Does he sound like Peter Griffin?
Well, a little bit.
Really?
Give it a shot.
Oh, my God. I apologize for that. I'm sorry. Everyone's
sorry.
Few people look at me. I'm fine. I'm fine.
He does sound
a
like
little bit, yeah.
I'm fine. Yeah, I don't know. Somebody said maybe it's like a phobia, like he has a fear of pucks or something.
Well, he's in the wrong business.
Obviously.
Start commentating from home then, if that's the case. I'm not buying it. I got beef. I'll just say that.
You think so?
I'm terribly,
that's my beef.
I
don't know him. I don't want to know him.
No.
I don't like that. Yeah.
Leave Roach and,
That's so embarrassing.
The Kraken.
It is embarrassing.
That's so embarrassing. The Kraken have to face McDavid and Draisaitl tonight.
We'll get something out of it, eh?
All of you, when 1260 was taken off the air.
You play the old god, I guess, too, eh?
How about this one? This would be a good one here. Name one of your favorite bands.
The Rush.
Name me the lacrosse team that plays out of Saskatoon.
The Rush.
I don't know if we could do that
I
many
like
times.
that
but
clip, though. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I wanted to get to this one. I think it was a Strummy. Erlenmeyer. That sounds like a pretty hip name. Because, he's coming off full hip replacement surgery. Text that in, Strumming. Text that in, 780-218-9999.
Could get you an SD.
Could get you an
Text
SD.
like that could get you
Could
an
you get an SD? Send us your scared sound bites, your scared text, I guess. There's some good.
We'll use it, but the whole trying to.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that. But it's not Doug Roach.
No.
There can only be one Doug Roach.
Joey Cassidy turns back. Looks like they're doing a little reverse that you might see in football. And here comes Bazin. He's got some speed. Split the D. Oh, what's he going to do? He's shooting the roof, Daddy. Oh, look at that. Look at this, look at that. And there's the speed and the old banana splitting Rudy. And, Vernon is rejoice as their nemesis, Steinbach. They get him in overtime. Roof Daddy. As Bazin kept chugging as his speed helped split the D. And there's no slipping on a banana peel there as he went slipping on upstairs there. And a goal as Vernon.
Goal.
Happy.
It's just so much.
They're nemesis. They get them. Oh, that's too good. This one's good. Northside Neil in this morning. It says stepping on a piece of Lego. Erlenmeyer.
He's back?
Not his real name.
Oh.
Ah, damn, I really wish his
Well,
name was Erlenmeyer. It doesn't make sense.
We don't want to spoil the
Why would your parents legitimately name you Erlenmeyer? Right? Anyway, he's a science teacher, and an Erlenmeyer is a type of lab equipment.
Never knew.
What? Somebody Google an Erlenmeyer. What? Let me guess. You look it up. I'm going to guess what an Erlenmeyer does. Erlenmeyer.
Well,
you see it? Would I recognize an Erlenmeyer? If
it comes from the German chemist Emil Erlenmeyer, as it will.
Okay,
so it's named after. It was a name of somebody.
A chemist.
Yeah.
So I would think that this is some sort and some shape of tube for mixing chemicals.
You're.
Am I?
Do you want me to?
Yeah, no, that's my guess. I got no other guess. That's my guess.
It's known as a conical flask. That's British English, or a titration flask. It's a type of laboratory flask which features a flat bottom and a conical body and a cylindrical neck. So it's like kind of that.
Oh, that's
pyramid type of thing.
Yeah. No, that's kind of exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I always wanted to be a guy who mixed materials together. Yeah, a chemist. Yeah.
Mad science.
Just back and forth, and you put it on the little pot thing, the little. What's the heater? You put it on the. You
get the tongs to take it up.
Yeah, and then it gets heated up, and you put on your goggles, and you mix it in, and the volcano explodes. That's really good. Anyway, Erlenmeyer, the science teacher.
I still like Erlenmeyer. That's a hell of a handle, though.
Yeah, I mean,
that's neat. And a little story attached.
I don't want to come across as a jerk here, but I liked you more when I thought it was your name. You know?
You don't need to see how the sausage is made, right?
Guys, old Doug Roach sounds like he's exhausted from chasing a cheetah who's done a couple of lines there.
Yeah.
He does.
The Canucks watching the Oilers skyrocket up the division.
Oh, that's a good one. Canucks watching the Oilers skyrocket up the division. Dusty when he sees a smoked oyster. That's a pretty good one, too. Keep those rolling in. 780-218-9999. Oilers fans, when they see that the club has eventually recalled Jack Campbell. All right. 780-218-9999. And we'll get to a few more of those as we work our way through the first hour of the show, which is only got 5 minutes left. Then we got Gazdic coming up. Cool Bet Hotline of the day. Rapaport's going to join us around 7:45. I got beef. We've got to have some good beefs today. I would think coming up around 7:30 this morning. Dusty when he sees a smoked oyster. That is a good one. The Toronto Raptors yesterday. Siakam. Everybody knew this was coming, especially after the last one. You're like, okay, well, Siakam's going to go for sure as well. 3 first-round picks. Bruce Brown Jr. Another piece in there as well. Now, overall, what they've done here, I like what they've done. Siakam was 29. He's going to want a monster deal. I think the team that gives Siakam the monster deal is probably not going to be happy with it at the tail end of it. So they've now brought in Bruce Brown, who has some championship experience, a little bit younger than Siakam. They bring in 3 first-round picks, 2 of them for this year's draft. They've got Scotty Barnes. They've got Quickly. They've got R.J. Barrett. I think they've come out of a rebuild that was somewhat forced upon them because of contracts and players kind of aging out a little bit. I think they've come out of this pretty well.
It's not bad. And Grady Dick as well, right?
And Grady Dick, who they just drafted, he's a shooter, yeah.
No, I like it. The picks and everything, and I know we had this question pop up on 3 Questions Too Many. I took the converse angle and came around. This is the move. This is the right move, getting the picks. And as you mentioned, warm bodies with a little bit of pedigree doesn't hurt in the immediate. Yeah. And there's a bit of emotion tied to it, obviously, with the name and who he was and the time that he spent here. But you move. You have to move. Pro sports, you got to identify that time. You have to, and you said too, you're not worried about keeping him around. Like, I mean, that would just what are we doing here? Where are you going? So this is the move to make. And do you think they maxed it out? Like, this is a good return. Hey,
I'll be interested to see, do they keep all the picks and draft, or do they trade picks for other younger pieces and be like, boom, here we are. They want to be a playoff team next year. I could see that. Erlenmeyer, when his Bunsen burner lights his lab coat on fire. Oh man, so many of you just get it. I love it. Calgary Flames players when they look at the schedule on Saturday. That's a good one as well. Keep those rolling in here. Could be how you get your hands on text of the day. And if you have any thoughts or hot takes on the Raptors and how they came out of this, feel free to fire those over as well. Austin Matthews, when he has a chance to block a shot that could win the game. Got to get out of the way of that one. Strummy. Zach Hyman, when he looks over at the other team's bench after a goal and sees them looking at the replay. Ah, my goodness. I love it. I love it. Joel's in and says, I got beef with the guy that says all of this show is about betting. Bingo.
I think we all kind of did, yeah.
What do you have beef with? Text us 780-218-9999. Hit us up in the nasty chat here this morning as well. We're going to get to I Got Beef for Acme Meats coming up here around 7:30 this morning. I do want to wrap up the 6 o'clock hour with this one from Greg from Lacombe. Can I get a conch for the beautiful Schellenberg family who lost their mother and grandmother this morning? Anita, you were a gem, and I love you like a mom. Rest in peace, lovely lady. That comes in from Greg from Lacombe. Sorry for your loss today, buddy. All right, Luke Gazdic is on the way, coming up here just after 7 o'clock as the Edmonton Oilers look to make it 12 in a row. The Seattle Kraken roll into town tonight. We will get Gazdic's thoughts on Ryan McLeod emerging here over the most recent winning streak as a very viable option for the Edmonton Oilers, and of course Stuart Skinner locking things down between the pipes. We'll also get his thoughts on a few other stories from around the National Hockey League as well. Cool Bet hotline of the day around 7:20. I got beef at 7:30 today, and NFL insider, literally one of the best in the biz, Ian Rapoport, will join us around 7:45 this morning. Let's get to a sports rewind with Lieutenant Eric.
Just a pair of games last night around the NHL. Cole Caulfield with the go-ahead goal as the Habs knock off the Devils 3-2, and Dylan Larkin scoring in overtime, leading the Wings for the Panthers 3-2. Oilers and Kraken tonight from Rogers Place. Edmonton chasing its 12th straight victory. You can join Tom Gazzola and YouTube Trev for the Oil Stream pre- and post-game shows right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Coverage starts at 5:30. AJHL action from yesterday. Camrose edge out Olds 3-2. Canmore 3-1 over Grand Prairie. Calgary doubling up the Crusaders 4-2, and Brooks 7. Bonneville 2. Action will resume tomorrow night with another 4 games. PWHL last night saw Boston take it over Toronto 3-2. Minnesota getting past Ottawa 3-2 in overtime. Schedule will resume Saturday with a pair of games. Raptors 121-97 victors over the Heat. Toronto welcoming the Bulls tonight in one of 5 games around the NBA. And you can join the entire Edmonton Sports Talk crew for Super Bowl 58 at the Central Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. That's Central Casino Fort Road, February 11th. Menu items under $10, drink specials, and your chance at prizing throughout the day. Sports update brought to you by Universal Rewind, reminding you that regular motor maintenance will prevent costly downtime. Contact them today to learn more about their motor maintenance services. Choose experience, expertise, and quality. Choose Universal Rewind.
The Nielsen Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
$7:01 on the Nielsen Show. Dustin Nielson, Lieutenant Eric, coming at you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio. If you have not yet got your hands on the Zach Hyman Collector Cup, make sure you do. You get it as part of that Oilers meal. Only available at Popeyes. You can text us anytime in the Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. Lots of good, scary text messages rolling in today after that play-by-play call that we played. So we'll get to those as we work our way through the rest of the show. Like we said, we've got a busy one for you today, though. Gazdic coming up now. Ian Rapoport on the way. Geroy Simon, assistant GM of the Edmonton Elks, coming up a little bit later on as well. Minus 19 in the Edmonton area right now. It's actually cooling down throughout the day. We'll hit about minus 24 at 10 o'clock before things start to warm up. And I sound like a super softy right now, but after like minus 40 and minus 50 last week, I don't know what it was. Last night was cold. Like, I was out of the house at like 8 o'clock. It must have only been like minus 18 or something, but I was freezing.
You're settling back. You only get like 24 or 48 hours after that cold snap to be like, oh, it's warmed up. But now
I thought it would be tough the rest of winter, though.
Yeah.
I wasn't. Last night I went to get the mail. Did you ever get your mail still?
Well, I have a mailbox right on my thing. Yeah, the guy
so
walks
cool.
up and I have actually right now I have these little partridges that'll come up on my lawn and they run around. You know those little fat boys? And yeah. So they'll scuttle around and then the mailman walks up and they scuttle away and then they scuttle back.
Are you feeding them anything?
I have a bird feeder. And the greedy little guys knock off stuff on the ground, and then the partridges, it's the circle of life, I think is what they call it. So it's
Do you ever sit outside like Bird Lady from Home Alone 2?
I've been tempted.
Yeah. Bundle up
just kind of
just go sit outside.
Rub myself all over with peanut butter and roll around out there.
Birds.
It's Rita McNeil, right? It was Rita McNeil.
780-218-9999 is where you can text us. Cool Bet hotline of the day coming up. I got beef for Acme Meats around 7:30 today, and then Ian Rapoport will join us. The Edmonton Oilers look to make it 12 in a row. Luke Gazdic, our hockey analyst today, brought to you by Pro-Am Sports, your locally owned sports memorabilia and apparel specialists, located in Edmonton at St. Albert Trail and 128th Ave, just one block north of Yellowhead, or, of course, online. That's their website, proamsports.ca. Like you, they are sports nerds, too. Mr. Gazdic, good morning, sir. How you doing, man?
Good, boys. How are we doing today?
I feel like we've only been talking about victories with you for about a month and a half now. Like, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
It's great, though. Not going to lie. The first couple months when I was coming on and they were in the
dark
they
times.
were having a bit of a dumpster fire. Yeah, it's way easier to talk about the team when they're absolutely buzzing. It's a lot more fun, that's for sure.
What is it about them right now that is making them buzz so brilliantly? Like 19 of 21 makes me think like every single box that you would require to have success is just basically being checked off on a nightly basis.
Yeah, it's great. Top guys are going first and foremost. I think the big boys are leading the way. The top line, 97's playing out of his mind again, which is unreal. Stu, it's probably the best run that I've seen Stu on.
Yep.
Maybe since he's been an Oiler. Just looks way more composed. He looks way more calm in there. Just like kind of unfazed by whatever's happening in the game. And, you know, in this win streak, 7 comeback wins. And that's what I see a lot too, is that no matter what happens in the game, whether they go down a couple goals, there's no panic, right? It's just like they kind of just stay the course. They look like they're playing loose, and everything's working for them, man. They certainly look good.
I know McDavid and Draisaitl together have been a dominant line at times, and McDavid has had other guys who pop in and do well with them. But is it too crazy to say that this is the best line that Connor McDavid's ever played on? I mean, I don't know how you can have a better fit than the two guys he's rolling with right now.
No, I don't think that's too far off, man. This is some of the best hockey, low-key, that I've seen Nuge play in a long time, too. He has this unreal way of adapting to wherever you put him in the lineup, and I just think he goes a little unheralded sometimes. I understand he's a former first overall pick and all that stuff, been in the league for a long time, but he's playing some really good hockey. Himes is basically the perfect complement. Yeah. He's become one of my favorite players to watch in the league. I think one of the questions or the pushback I get back on Zach is, he plays power play. He plays with Connor. Of course, he's going to have this many goals. Like, man, he still creates. He's still a dog on the bone and on the forecheck. His puck protection, his strength down low. He's just like the perfect complement for him. I do love how Garlic throws 29 and 97 back together every once in a while. I think Woody went to it a little too often, and he's kind of let them fend for themselves on the lines. But you saw versus Toronto, I think it was 4 left in the second. He puts Kane on that left side, Draisaitl ends up throwing that backhand. They score. Does it again in this third with McLeod.
Yeah,
though.
with McLeod.
And then Clowder comes through, right? So it looks like he's kind of going to it in more pressure situations, which we didn't see in his early coaching career with the team. But I like how he mixes it up and throws them back together every now and then.
It's got to make you happy, too, Luke, going from the top to the bottom. And they say this with absolute respect. Guys like Derek Ryan, scoring his 200th point the other night. And you mentioned McLeod and how Knobloch's kind of tinkered with, moving him up and maybe leaving him down or whatever. But it's got to make you happy, too. It's easy to talk about the McDavids and the Hymans and everything. But guys at the bottom of this roster, too, and kind of third and fourth lines really coming to the front. And Ryan was quoted yesterday as confidence and swagger. That comes from Knobloch. Hey, we talked about his quiet confidence since he's been appointed here, but just your thoughts, not so much on the top end, but the bottom end of the roster as of late as well.
Yeah, well, honestly, it's easy to feel confident when you can feel that reciprocated from your head coach, when he's going to continually throw you over the boards and kind of roll those lines. That's a good feeling. Like I just felt it was probably a little due to my play. I'm not going to lie, but I just felt like I would go into games and I would have no idea whether I was going to play 2 minutes or 11 minutes. And I understand that's probably not a huge amount of ice time in the grand scheme of things too, but he's just constantly rolling them over. It's almost like we were playing when we were kids. It's just next down on the bench is over, depending on the situation and what's going on in the game. But he has a lot of confidence in them right now, and I think easily so, man. That's a really good checking line. This Matthias Janmark, I swear, boys, I love watching him play. He's not the prettiest skater, doesn't do anything great, but he does a lot of things good, and especially his checking game, obviously a good penalty killer, but he's got a really good stick, great on takeaways. He's able to create, and man, what can you say about DR too? I remember seeing him in the dressing room last year. I'm sure you guys have seen him live, and I don't want to make this sound bad, but I just remember looking over at him and I was like, how is this guy a successful NHL player?
I know, right?
He's with the stature, right? But all heart, and that's been a really good third line for them. So it'll be interesting to see what he does with McLeod. I love him down the wing. I don't love him as much in the middle. So depending on what moves they make, but for now, that's been a really good line for them.
Well, that's kind of where I wanted to dive into McLeod here a little bit. He's got 11 points in his last 10 games, and it looked like, when they were struggling, and even after they started to win games, you're like, man, is McLeod ever going to chip in offensively? Has the move to the wing, and I know they got him back in the middle right now, but has the move to the wing opened up something in his game that has allowed him to produce like this, or is it just a coincidence that he started producing like this?
No, I think, listen, when you're a center, and the game I watch him play, and a lot of the criticism I hear on him and that I see is that he starts in the middle and he always works his way to the outside. That's what drives people nuts, right? He'll go over the line and then he's working towards the perimeter. But when you're a winger, you start on the perimeter and everything has to funnel to the net. And that's what I see from him is he's taking the puck to the net a little more. And it's easy to do when you're feeling confident, but as a winger, you're going to start from the outside. And if you want to score and you want to create, you got to funnel it to the net. And he's doing a good job of it, man. It's smart. That I think it was the game winner, right? Versus Toronto.
Yep.
He uses the net as a decoy, realizes there's 2D on the backside and makes a great shot, knows he has the screen, knows he has to go far side. So his ability to process too at real NHL speed now is starting to improve, and you can see the confidence is growing. Fun player to watch right now.
Former Oiler Luke Gazdic with us on the show this morning, now running the Mid-South podcast, and of course with Sportsnet. You're a Toronto guy. What's the market been like for the last couple of days?
Not good, boys. Not good.
Not good out there right now.
Well, so this is the biggest thing is I think you guys got a front row seat and a good look at what the Leafs are on Tuesday night. They're very top heavy. They have an extremely talented core four forwards that doesn't necessarily like playing a hard game. Their defense core is a mess. They basically have a 1A or 1B defenseman, call him whatever you want, in Morgan Riley, and then it drops to 5 or 6 guys that are probably 5 to 6 defensemen. And then in the crease has been their probably their biggest anchor. Like Martin Jones has stabilized the position, but Joe Wall being out, I'm not sure. I think he's the guy, but I'm not sure even when he's coming back. Samsonov has been no words can describe, right? So I think a lot of people are blaming Sheldon here, and like easily so. I see a lot of similarities with the Oilers situation, but I don't really think this is Sheldon's fault. I honestly, I put this on the D in the goaltending, but man, this road trip will say a lot. They got to go out. They started in Edmonton. Now Brad's playing his old boys in Calgary tonight. They go to Van and then a Seattle team that just put together and
the Winnipeg home and home too.
Yeah, they get the Jets home and home at the end of the month too. So.
Exactly. Like that's an absolute gauntlet. And if I had to take a guess, this next run will kind of define Sheldon Keefe behind the bench and whether he sticks around, and will kind of define the way the Leafs set up into the trade deadline here. Honestly,
the Leafs get the Flames here tonight. The Oilers get the Flames on Saturday. So just your thoughts on Calgary, and if you look at a trade bait board, basically with any network, there's like 3 or 4 Calgary Flames in the top 10, 11, 12 names. But they're not out of it. Like they're a little bit behind the pack, but they're still kind of in there. So if you were running the Flames, would you move these guys that in a year where you would be the top seller on the market, you could probably get a haul for some of these guys, but it's also a signal to the rest of the team that you just don't think they're good enough when they're close to being good enough to maybe sneak in.
Yeah, Calgary is such an interesting team. I think the biggest thing I've thought about them all year, last show I covered them, I had it in bold and underlined. It just said, I don't know what they are.
Yeah.
Some nights they're outstanding. Some nights they can't score, but I will give them credit. They work. Like they compete. And Ryan Huska, who I played for as well, doesn't accept much less than that. He starts it in practice and they've really followed it into the game. My big thing with Calgary is like, what do you think's going to happen this year? Are you barely just scratching and clawing and trying to get into the playoffs and telling your fans like, is that the goal, or do you want to win a Stanley Cup? And I don't think they're Stanley Cup contenders this year. So when I look at those 3 big contracts, I don't think you can just let all 3 of those guys walk. I would be really, really trying to re-sign either Hanifin or Tanev, leaning Tanev. But even those other 2 guys, I don't think this is a situation where you can just get picks back. Like get a good roster player that you can have some control over, and it's more of a retool rather than a rebuild. Like the Sharon Govich deal for Toffoli, you get a guy on an expiring contract that's probably not going to re-sign. Get somebody in that's on your roster that can contribute right away. You can fit under the cap. But yeah, the Flames, it's never an easy 2 points against them, I'll say. And especially as of late, they've been very opportunistic walking into Vegas on Saturday. I know Vegas is banged up, but that's not an easy 2 points. That was an impressive win for me.
All right, last one for you, Luke, before we let you go. The Kraken in town tonight. They went on a little heater themselves. They had won 9 in a row at one point. Same with the Edmonton Oilers. The Oilers have continued it. The Kraken have not. What should we expect from the Seattle team tonight trying to deny the Oilers an even dozen in a row here?
Just pesky, man. They don't do anything particularly well. They're not top 10 in any great statistical categories. Power plays average, penalty kills average. They don't have any point per game players on their team, but what they do have is a really good hot goaltender, and they got a lot of belief in the way they play, and that can say a lot. Now, credit, their 8-game win streak is really freaking impressive. To do that in the NHL, no matter if 4 of the games were against Columbus, Anaheim, Buffalo, Ottawa, you still have to win games. And there's not an easy game, right? But Joey Decord's been outstanding. He's not going to give up any easy ones tonight. And they play fast, they move the puck fast, and they defend well. And it's going to be a stingy game. They're not the most exciting team to watch. It's a little bit more boring hockey, but it's not going to be an easy 2 points tonight for those guys either. They'll have to come in with a better start. That's one thing I'll say. The Oilers are kind of tiptoeing into games lately, kind of feeling out the water, feeling out the opponent. I hope they really take it to this team early and go from there.
And Luke, just a final one. A few people in the nasty chat wanted your thoughts on the Senators blowing yet another one the other night to the Avalanche, and your love for Ottawa-based hockey.
This team, guys, I honestly, they've hired a new goalie coach now. They have the worst save percentage in hockey. And I got asked the other day, is that why they're losing? No, that's not why they're losing. They're losing. They don't play with any structure. And like I told you guys last week, I'm sitting in the front row with a big bag of popcorn watching this ship go down.
Guys, as always, buddy, we really appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot. We'll chat next week.
Awesome, guys. Go Oil.
There you go. That's Luke Gazdic, former Edmonton Oiler. Obviously still very passionate about the club. Now with Sportsnet, he's got his own podcast, the Mitsoff Podcast. It's a good one. I check that out on all of your podcasting platforms. It was into a couple of interesting comments here. James is in on the nasty chat this morning. It says, the Flames with good scouting could become Jets 2.0 if they made the right trades. And it sounds a little hot take-ish. By the way, hot takes today for Claiborne Services around 8:45. YouTube Trev defends his title. But I think there could be a path there to try to make that happen.
There are pieces, yeah.
You sign one of the guys. You get some younger-ish roster players for the other guys. And that should keep your group believing in, part of its business, obviously, with the money side of it. But to show the rest of the group that, hey, we're not giving up on you guys, but these adjustments had to be made. I like that.
Yeah, with a coach like Huska, as he said, hard work and giving it all, and it's not something you'd give up on, really. And if you add a little bit, give away a little bit to add a little bit, who's to say? But I don't think you should be too bullish about them if you're a Flames fan entering the playoffs through a wild card door, right? In terms of chasing a cup right now.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, well, what say you? You can hit us up there. Nasty Chatter, you can text us 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Mike says, why does Gaz hate the Sens? What's the story? Well, Mike, you have to go back. Last week, he kind of laid it out nicely, but basically, Sens fans are always all over him. And, he's a Toronto-based guy, so, I mean, it's
he's not afraid to get the knives out.
Easy way to link those two together. Doofish Peas in and says, John Reed Memorial starts today. St. Albert for the top teams in Canada, including the host. Check it out. Yeah, I did. I did like a decade of shows out at the John Reed.
You had breakfast, decade of breakfasts at the John Reed
Memorial,
used to
be dropping off breakfasts like crazy.
That was always the story.
John Reed Memorial. We were always there for opening day.
Back at the studio listening jealously as you were scarfing down breakfast all morning.
Which would have been today that I would have been out there. So yeah, it's a great tournament. If you want to go see future National Hockey League stars, check out the John Reed Memorial Bantam tournament.
A little more on that maybe coming at the Hangout this morning.
We're talking some minor hockey week, I think, on the Hangout today. Gager's going to be in. Somebody from Hockey Edmonton is going to be in as well for a little bit later on. Radomski from the Oil Kings is going to be in on the Hangout today. That'll be from 9 to 11. It's a very good show. If you have not yet given it a chance, we do think you will like it. All right, let's get into your Cool Bet hotline of the day today. Obviously, we are going to dive in to the Oilers and Kraken game. I'll be building an EST parlay that we'll have posted by the Lock Shop today for sure at 11 o'clock. If you have any suggestions on what you want in on that EST parlay, and as it works, what we do is we pick a bunch of player props, put them in, then CoolBet gives us a boost to a number that you'll only be able to get with us here at CoolBet. If you're not yet signed up for an account, go to coolbet.com. Use the code LOCKSHOP, all one word when you do, and you'll get a 100% deposit bonus on your initial deposit up to $200. Lock Shop with Huss and I today, right here and only here on Edmonton Sports Talk. There's a couple of things that I'm looking at for this game tonight. The Kraken, if you dive into where the Kraken have been at lately, they went on that heater. And a lot of it was on goaltending. They scored some goals along the way as well. As Luke did mention, though, a win over Anaheim in there, a win over Ottawa, a win over Columbus. However, a win over Washington, a win over Vegas, banged up, but still. They beat Philly. They beat Calgary during this winning streak. But over the stretch of the final 8 games of their 9-game heater, they allowed 2 goals, 1 goal, 1 goal, 0 goals, 1 goal, 2 goals, 1 goal, 4 goals. Now they've lost their last 2. These were the final 2 games on a 5-game road trip so far. Now they're rolling in here tonight. So it's the 6th game of a road trip.
11 of 15 wins as well.
3-0 loss to Pittsburgh, 5-2 loss to the Rangers. This is a tough spot for the Kraken to be in tonight. So there's a couple of different things I like from a value perspective. We can get on the Oilers in regulation at -128, which I really like. If you like the Oilers to win by 2 or more, you can get them at +120. I think especially on the parlay that we'll put together a little bit later on. We can even mix that in. We can get this parlay going right now. I like the Oilers in reg for the parlay. I think I also like, regardless of who starts tonight, Seattle under 2.5 goals. Tail end of a road trip.
We mentioned the goaltending was kind of the
Offensive
thing.
dried up. It's the goaltending that's been carrying them. The Oilers have been, I could see the Oilers out shooting them tonight, like 35-20, like that type of thing. That doesn't necessarily mean they automatically win. It doesn't necessarily mean they win like 5-1 or something. But I also like the value here on the under 2.5 goals for Seattle at -116. But so we like I can mix that into the parlay. For the cool bet hotline of the day, I think we just play it Oilers in regulation tonight, -128. That's pretty decent value, I think, with a Kraken team that could be running on fumes and has lost 2 in a row.
Also, a shout out here, Dom Skeeter. Shout out to Mr. Lean, big tennis dub, as he had his lean yesterday going to the Australian Open.
Nice, Mr. Lean.
Love to see it.
Quick appearance from Mr. Lean.
In and out.
Drops a middle of the night tennis dub on you.
Here's a W.
God. Now it was just a lean.
Yeah.
So you would have had to push it into a play.
Sure, yeah.
But you got it done again. Damn that Mr. Lean.
Even with one arm, eh?
Yep. Incredible. So Oilers in regulation tonight, -128. And then for the parlay today, we'll go Oilers. We'll go Oilers in reg. We'll go Kraken under 2.5 goals tonight. Trevor, you worried about is this a game where the Oilers sort of let the foot off the gas here and stumble a bit? They've been so focused, and Seattle's on this long road trip. Like, it just seems like a really nice spot play for the Oilers here.
Yeah, no, I've liked the Oilers play against Seattle all season long. They've kind of had their number ever since they've joined the organization. So they do it by committee. They're one of those teams, right? They don't have that top end talent. Their goaltending is, iffy at times, but like you said, like they're stingy defensively. So the Oilers have kind of struggled with that in the past, but I mean, I'm not too worried. The way they've been playing, like Gaz said, like the last few games, the Oilers have kind of weaseled their way into these wins, right? They don't start, showing up a little later, right? We haven't seen those first period goals like they were to start this streak. So I definitely would like to see them, pedal to the metal like they did, back the first game after the Christmas break against the San Jose Sharks, where they just, got a goal in the first minute 30. I definitely would like to see that. And if they start rolling like they do, I mean, it's going to be so hard for Seattle to make a game out of this just because how motivated the Oilers are right now, and just all 4 lines are really getting it done. Well, 3 lines for sure are really getting it done. So I'm not too worried. I like that play a lot, Dusty.
Yeah, let's go.
One of the things, though, I wonder, all that hype and emotion from the Toronto game, right, and the buzz and everything. Gaz mentioned the start, and you did too, Trev. You got to get up. You get up on this team.
Yeah.
You should be flying, but I just wonder if there's a bit of a let-off from all the hype and the emotion from Tuesday, but the playoff atmosphere.
I still feel good about Oilers in regulation and Kraken under 2.5 tonight.
I feel better about them tonight than against the Leafs on Tuesday, given the Leafs have been sputtering and puttering as well.
This is insane. The Oilers here, we know they've won 11. In their last 9, they've allowed 2 goals, 1 goal, 2 goals, 1 goal, 1 goal, 2 goals, 2 goals, 2 goals, 0 goals. So this under 2.5 for the Kraken tonight has hit in 9 straight games. Are we hopping on it at just the wrong time? Or are they just a team that has locked things down so well defensively? So let's go. Let's go. Oilers in regulation. Kraken under 2.5 goals tonight. McDavid. Who do we like to score a goal tonight, boys? Let's get a goal score into this little parlay here too tonight. Any leans from Captain Hunch over there?
I don't know. I mean, last time it's been a while since Kaner's. Really, I don't know. I don't.
Kane goal tonight?
Well, and the last time they played, he got a hat trick, so maybe. And he looked good. He looked better in his last game than he has in recent. Like there's that one, the one shift where he took the puck to the net, and if he were to get that backhand off, it was a sure goal. Like he had the goalie beat. But I don't know. I like Kane. Maybe I like Kane for tonight, but that's just me. Don't take my word for it.
Yeah. But now, if he does score and we don't have him in there, it's going to be like, damn it, Dusty, you should have listened to YouTube trap.
Sounds like a hunch to me. Yeah, exactly.
I like Kaner.
Get him in there.
That's my pick.
Let's see here. Maybe what we do is we cover it off with a Kane point, which is plus 102.
I like that.
Let's do a Kane point. If he scores, we still get it.
Don't think he skated yesterday either. Be well rested.
Okay, so Kane point. Kraken under 2.5. Oilers in regulation. And let's go one more. Let's get one more in here.
Hyman point.
Hyman points. Yeah. McDavid 2 points. Let's see here. Let me get McDavid's game log up here. We can always. McDavid 2 points always. That always works.
I don't mind that. I don't mind that.
Let's go. Okay, so let's go this. Let's go McDavid over 1.5 points. Kane with a point. That's plus money there. Kraken held under 3 goals tonight. And the Oilers to win in regulation. There we go. That'll be your EST parlay, which will be posted a little bit later on today over at CoolBet. We've got I Got Beef coming up next. What do you have beef with? And if you have any more of those text messages for old scared play-by-play guy, keep these coming in. This is kind of the bait here today. Yeah. Text messages that fit with that. Something that somebody would be so scared they'd sound like this guy. Have some fun with it. You can mix it in, show related. Like Tommy Gazzola when Dusty puts things on the desk. You can get into things like that. Obviously, sports related, Oilers related as well. Pound the box, 780-218-9999. Sports update for Park Mazda. I Got Beef and Ian Rapoport coming up here in hour number 2.
Just a pair of games in the NHL last night. Montreal defeat the Devils 3-2 and the Wings over the Panthers 3-2 in overtime. Oilers hosting the Kraken. Edmonton chasing its 12th straight win later tonight. You can join Tom Gazzola and YouTube Trev. They'll have the Oil Stream pre- and post-game shows right here on Edmonton Sports Talk coverage starting at 5:30. Oilers Kraken, one of 11 games around a busy night in the NHL. AJHL action from yesterday. Calgary doubling up the Crusaders 4-2. Bonnyville falling to Brooks 7-2. Canmore 3-1 over Grand Prairie. And Camrose getting past Olds 3-2. Action will resume tomorrow night with another 4 games. Just a pair in the PWHL last night. Boston defeating Toronto 3-2 and Minnesota over Ottawa 3-2 in overtime. The schedule will pick up again Saturday with a pair of games. Raptors with a 121-97 victory over the Heat last night. They're back on the court tonight to host the Bulls in one of 5 games around the NBA. And some news out of the NFL this morning. Reba McEntire, alongside Post Malone and Andre Day, have been announced to perform at the Super Bowl pregame events. You can join the entire Edmonton Sports Talk crew for Super Bowl 58 at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge, Century Casino Fort Road, February 11th. Menu items under $10, drink specials, and your chance at prizes throughout the day. This sports update brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, who will be welcoming in Reba McEntire after the Super Bowl event.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you can afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a figure skater. He wears like a white outfit and he does interpretive ice dances to my life's journey.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Whale and the Wolf, EST House Band, EST Closet Band. Bringing the heat here as the Nielsen Show rolls on uninterrupted. Thank you very much for joining us. 780-218-9999. Get yourself into the Paris Jewelers inbox today and go see our friends at PJ's. Visit them at parisjewelers.com. 22 locations across the country. Family-owned. Great business. If you're looking for something for Valentine's Day, they will hook you up. Reba McEntire.
A little more. She will be singing the national anthem, and Post Malone will perform America the Beautiful.
Amazing. Is this an Achy Breaky podcast bump?
She'll be covering the national anthem, right?
Because she does some covers.
You're right. I mean,
so we ended season 2 of the Achy Breaky podcast with Reba's Fancy, in which she basically prostitutes her daughter out to try to save her life. And then we are opening season 3 with a pod that we'll probably record tomorrow. And that's a Reba again. We're starting season 3 with Reba. Now, all of a sudden, smack dab in the middle of it, Reba gets announced as singing the anthem at Super Bowl. What is this? This can't be a coincidence. It has to be the Achy Breaky bump.
And you add the anthem performance with Usher's halftime. I mean, could this be the best musical?
That's
like,
if one thing really ties together, it's Reba and Usher.
Loving it.
So that's great. I mean, Grey Cup did better this year. Carrie Underwood, Green Day. I would rather Carrie Underwood and Green Day than Usher and Reba McEntire.
For a Super Bowl in Las Vegas, of all places.
I know.
Never would I have had Reba McEntire and Usher headlining the event, but here we are.
Yeah, that's
and
that's
a Post Malone as well. Yeah.
Ian Rapoport's going to join us in just over 10 minutes for Century Casino. Of course, you can join us for our Super Bowl party, Century Casino, Fort Road in the Sports Bar and Lounge there. Should be a good time. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. We'll get to a few more of those text messages coming up. Third hour of the show, jam-packed. Hot takes, orange and blue breakfast. Geroy Simon's going to join us to talk about some of these off-season changes for the Edmonton Elks. So we'll get into that as well. Right now, it is time for I Got Beef for Acme Meats. Go see Corey the Butcher, who also remembers when he was born, just like Lieutenant Eric. That came in on Confessions earlier in the week. But if you're looking to get the best damn beef in the biz, get it at Acme Meat Market. We're hoping to get a little delivery of some show meat here in the near future. We are also, and this is how you can pound that box at 780-218-9999. Corey has given us an opportunity to give away a chance for you and your friends to go down and have like this butcher's event.
See how the
with
sausage
Corey.
is made, right?
Yeah, he's going to tell you like different things you can pair with different meats and stuff. It's going to be pretty cool. If you want to get in the draw for that, all you have to do right now is text in, I want beef. I want beef to 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. I want beef will get you into that draw. As for beefs that you have, Lieutenant Eric, what do you got?
Well, Cat was on the bagger. I had beef with the minor hockey calls just trying too hard. I hope this isn't like a thing now where everybody's kind of, and it comes with the, yeah.
Just too much.
Look, if the puck hit you, I understand, but it missed you, and screaming that much didn't really. But there are other things in the clip. The oh my God, the rush, right? Like I didn't mind some other things from the clip. I really, but I also got beef this morning with Gazzola having beef with having items on the broadcast desk here.
He really does.
I don't know why such a
like. We'll be doing oil stream partway through, and he'll grab my water and put it down on the floor.
Why?
It's like Tommy's.
But hands off your stuff. I'm not.
Tommy's a handsome man. He's a pretty boy, and he likes his surroundings to also be pretty. I mean,
you got your own little. You got your own area here.
Yeah.
Keep that.
No,
you do whatever you want.
I know, but
it's none of my business what you're doing over there.
Yeah.
I just kind of have. I don't know. Throws me a bit.
Trev, what do you think?
Yeah, he's very prim and proper. But
he is. Yeah,
exactly.
Prim and proper is a great way to describe old Mr. Gazzola.
Every Hello Hockey on Saturday morning, you can tune in at 10 o'clock in the a.m. The first thing he says is, "How many water bottles does a guy need?" And then he clears them all off the desk. So yeah, it's kind of funny. I got a chuckle out of it.
I'm gonna leave a bunch of stuff on the desk. Just as a joke after the show on Friday.
It'd be like Ricky and Trailer Park Boys with a stick.
Yeah, come in to stick on the car. Like, we got to go. Like that. Yeah, well, and I can guarantee right now, if Tommy was listening this morning, he'd say he has beef with stuff on the desk. Like that right now would be killing.
Well, he ain't denying
Tommy
it.
Gazzola.
Yeah. No, he's into this one, but I have. It's not PTI around here. We're not putting bobbleheads on top of bobbleheads or anything. But like a water, like come on, what's the problem?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's one of those things. Like he doesn't even like his own computer to be plugged in. Like him seeing your charger in front of your laptop right now, he'd lose his mind.
It's part of the. Yeah.
All right, what do you have beef with? 780. That pisses me off.
Like it kind of yeah.
Paddleboat's in it says it's funny how anal Tommy is about keeping things tidy, but he can't be on time. That is kind of funny.
They
But
go hand in hand.
Maybe
don't
he
they?
runs late on a few things because he's always making sure everything's in its right place. I think.
A dawdler, I think, is maybe what they. Yeah.
Yeah. Guys, I got beef with people that go too wide and have a conversation in the supermarket, clogging up the aisle as I'm trying to do my shopping and get out of there.
Here.
That is
Here.
tough.
Yeah.
Then you got to turn around, or you got to that you all of a sudden you feel rude for saying, "Excuse me, can I get by your very inappropriate conversation to have at a grocery store? Inconvenient."
I will turn around actually and exit the aisle.
You will, yeah.
But I make it very
usually
obvious.
do
I'll
too.
take the cart and right on, like, you know.
You've got full-blown Austin
pardon me,
Powers
yeah.
this thing. Like,
Didn't know you rented the aisle for a
trying to
get-together
turn
here.
around, yeah. What do you have beef with? 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. YouTube, Trev, you got any beefs today?
No, man. I was thinking earlier in the
You're
show,
always so
like,
happy,
yeah, like I rarely have beef with stuff, so this segment's pretty tough for me because, yeah, like I try to be as happy and positive as possible as all times. So, but yeah, there's nothing. I like the aisle one though. Like I've had that a few times. It's like, can we move? Like get this along?
It's just rude. Like it's
annoying.
Just pull your cart in front of the other cart and then turn around and talk.
It's like
You're
it's
gonna
like a
sit
road.
side by side. I got a couple of beefs. I got a beef with drive-throughs when there's nobody else in it, but it still takes forever. I was at a drive-thru the other day. There's nobody in front of me. I had to wait like 3-4 minutes just to place my order. Then I pulled up and I had to wait another 5-6 minutes at the at the window, and there was nobody else anywhere to be seen. I was like, what is going on here?
When they opened the window to serve you, did you then take your time to address them?
No,
'Cause
I was in a hurry.
But I've done that before.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
You stick it back to the drive-thru guy?
Well, I'm sitting there with my window down, and it's minus whatever. You could have the courtesy, and then they're taking other orders. They want to get but I'm up at the window. Deal with me. Run me through. She says, "Oh, you ordered this, did you?"
I don't know. It was 10 minutes ago.
You tell me, and then I pretend like I'm looking for stuff, and just a second. Yeah, I'll dish it back. If you're in a rush, though, I understand the rush.
I've got another beef, and I'm not gonna say which station this was, but I've got beef with a radio station in town. This is gonna come across as a little bit weird because it was nice of them, I guess. But I got beef when somebody emails me a job opportunity to go host a morning show in this city. Like I'm unemployed right now. Like Edmonton Sports Talk isn't a thing. Like I'm not doing CFL and TSN. Like I'm not busy 1,000 minutes a week. I got an email being like, thought you might like this opportunity. I'm like, why would I like this opportunity? Have you not seen what we're building at Edmonton Sports Talk? Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to shut down Edmonton Sports Talk to come work for your crappy radio station. What are you talking about? Like, that's just such, I have such beef with it. That's a slap in the face to what we're building over here to even ask me to be like, would you come do this? What do you think? Like, yeah, we put 4 months of all of our blood, sweat, and tears into this so that I'd just be like, sorry, boys, great opportunity in radio, so I'm going to leave now. Come on. Pay attention to what's happening in this city, for goodness sakes. Pay attention to what's happening in the bloody business. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to shut this down and be, sorry, boys, I'm out. Come on. That's what I got beef with. It's just.
Feels good, don't it?
Yeah.
Eh? You get that?
Not for a, like, yeah. It feels good to get off the chest because I'm still sitting here looking at the email being like, what are they thinking? You want me to go work in radio for less money than we make here, give up a future in play-by-play to come do your morning show on radio right now. I mean, some people need a reality check. Like, that's ridiculous. Anyway, I replied nicely. I said, thanks for thinking of me. But things are going too well at Edmonton Sports Talk. I love doing play-by-play too much to come co-host a morning show on the radio. It just, that was wild.
Scurbs points out in the nasty chat, it's flattery at the end of the day. You can take it as such.
It should be flattery, but I was like, does this guy not know what we've already built at Edmonton Sports Talk?
Maybe not.
Like, is he not even paying attention? So I replied kindly, but like, even if I was unemployed, I don't think I would have taken that opportunity.
As Sheldon S. asks, isn't this just a podcast?
Of course. Yeah, of course.
You could.
Yeah, I don't know. That was a weird one to me. That's not going to happen.
Oh, trade deadline approaches, hey?
Yeah. That's exactly it. I don't know. I just be aware of, to me, it was just like, oh, your current thing sucks, so come work for us, which is worse. Like, I don't get that. So I understand, there's a lot of people looking for work, but if you're looking for work, there's jobs out there. There's jobs at Claiborne Services right now, hiring like crazy. They got to hire like 400 people in the next like 3 months. If you want work, go talk to the guys at Claiborne Services. They'll get you taken care of. So I was caught off guard by it, I guess. So I got beef with that. Anyway, what do you have beef with? Hit us up. Acme Meats. They have beef for you. You can get it done at Acme Meats. Guys, I have beef with drive-thrus when they make you pull around to a designated pickup spot and there's no one waiting behind you. I pull around wait for my cold burger and fries, and then the guy who drives up 5 minutes after me gets a fresh order, and it's hot, and he leaves while I'm still waiting for mine.
It's bad look. Tough look.
That's a tough look, too. There's so many frustrating things about the drive-thru. That must be why local serial killer Matthew Iwanek never goes to the drive-thru. He'll pull up and go into the restaurant.
It's not a bad play. Everybody's doing the drive-thru, especially in suggestive weather. You go in, it goes right to the counter. You got it all there. You can almost see how it's all made, right? You stand there. If you order at the counter, you stand at the counter. You don't walk back or anything. You stand and you try to, make sure that you're on it. Let them know that you're.
They pop in and be like, hey, guys, like, what's going on here?
Doesn't hurt.
While we're on the topic of drive-thrus, I figured one out. And, I guess like last week, my window is frozen shut. So every time I go through the drive-thru, I have to step out of my car. And it's just awkward.
How long has your window been frozen shut?
Well, since it's been for last
fully
week.
Get out though?
What are you talking about, man?
Like my window?
Yeah.
I usually, you roll it down, but because it's been frozen, it's not going down. So I have to get out of my.
Have you tried scraping along the bottom of the window? Like sometimes it'll freeze to like the little part of the top.
No. I haven't got that far yet, Dusty. But you know what's annoying? I check all my other windows just to see this morning.
And they all work.
And I was like, they all work.
I think your window might be broken, man, as opposed to frozen. Because why would your window be frozen but the other ones aren't frozen?
Because it's close. It's close. It makes a sound and it moves like a little bit.
Motor in there.
I think it's because it's like frozen to that little rubber layer right on the side. If you just take a thing and scrape in there, it should work again.
Okay, well. I'll get on that then.
He's got a beef with this now.
Now
I got beef with you for making me look like a fool.
You feel
But you actually get out and stand at the window?
Well, I get like
and I'll open the door.
I get like my 1 foot out, and I'm like, oh, here we go again.
Putting in park it fully.
I put it in park.
On the window, eh?
Yeah, it's just awkward. And this morning, like people were looking at me. I'm like, I hate this. So that's my beef.
Through the drive-through and then use the passenger.
I'll start doing that.
All right, let's get Ian Rapoport on. Rap's going to join us. We're going to dive into it. Yeah, that's got to be it, because that happens that happens sometimes. I just can't believe Trev's been doing that for 2 weeks. I love the idea of a video where Trev pulls his whole car up, gets out, closes the door, stands.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
And then gets his sandwich, opens it back
the Woodcroft lean on the thing.
And slides back in, man. But if you take like even a credit card probably work too. But I'd take even like a CD or something. Should
just
work
fiddle
after
around
that.
down there, you know?
Yeah.
Can't make it any worse.
And it probably only takes a little bit of time. Yeah, as Justin Balgoni says, it may get stuck by the weather stripping.
Yeah. It's worth a shot.
That's pretty good. All right. But it is weird that Awanek doesn't go through drive-thrus, right?
But
is that not a little bit weird? Like you go there to the restaurant, but then park your car, get out, go in, and then come back out.
At a busy time, you do avoid a lot of this mess. All this beef that we've been having can be avoided by simply, parking and going in. You get a little exercise.
Yeah, maybe. All right, let's get to Ian Rapoport, one of the best NFL insiders in the biz. You can follow him at Twitter at RapSheet if for some reason you already don't. Brought to you by Century Casino Fort Road. We'll be having our Super Bowl party there in the sports bar and lounge. It'll be interesting to see who we're watching. Some very good teams still in the mix. Obviously, RapSheet, good morning. How you doing, man?
What's going on? How you guys doing?
We're doing good. You're way too busy of guy to go to a restaurant, stop and go in as opposed to hit a drive-thru, correct?
I guess it depends on the restaurant.
Okay.
Like, I mean, if you're going to go have dinner at like a restaurant bar, drive-thru would be weird, especially if one doesn't exist. I only do drive-thru when I'm with my children. They love the drive-thru. Otherwise, I generally can go in and sit. And you can have a working lunch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my daughter, she specifically loves the drive-thru because she sits behind me and I roll her window down and she talks to the drive-thru person the whole time. She's 6. She just loves it. She goes, "Hi." She goes, "Oh, Daddy, they remembered me." I was like, I don't know technically if they remembered you. But yeah, they have a lot of fun there. All right, the big news yesterday was, I guess, the news that we didn't get that some people were expecting, and that was McCarthy keeping his job in Dallas. Do you think it was a hard decision, or is this just something that we kind of blew up discussing it post-game?
Yeah, I think it was something that we blew up discussing a post-game. I mean, the Cowboys were the number 2 seed. They won the East. They went to the playoffs again. Obviously, it didn't go well in the playoffs, and there's always going to be questions about the Cowboys and like what they have to prove and, not advancing in the playoffs, and that's all definitely true. But I think, this is a good, successful, high-functioning, high-level team. The fact that they lost in the playoffs shouldn't necessarily negate everything they did everywhere else. I don't know. I never thought Mike McCarthy was in trouble. I know some people said that he'd be judged on his last game. Like, I never got that sense. It was always more like the whole picture. So yeah, I mean, not doesn't get a contract extension, but certainly does get to stick around for another year at least.
Ian, just where are we at here with Harbaugh and the Chargers in this kind of courting process? Is there any sort of timeline to follow following their tweet over the weekend that they had a conversation?
Yeah. So he talked to the Chargers. He also talked to the Falcons. So that's 2. We'll see if there's another one out there for him. Plus, he's talking to the University of Michigan. Harbaugh, I think, has a lot to weigh. There's a contract at the University of Michigan that would make him the highest paid coach in college football. There is, we'll see if one of the NFL teams offers. I mean, part of the deal is the Chargers can't offer and the Falcons can't offer because they haven't met with 2 external minority candidates. When they do, at that point, they can make an offer, but they haven't yet. So everything's sort of in a holding pattern. And, unless you are, if you're employed by an NFL team, you can't interview in person until the 22nd. So, there's a lot of reasons why these coaching searches have sort of stalled a little bit. But that's kind of what's going on.
Well, who are they waiting to talk to that could possibly still be made available, do you think? Like, are there other names of guys who are still coordinators on teams that are still in the mix that you think would be sought-after candidates?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, well, it doesn't matter, though, because even if you're
you can still talk,
not
right?
a playoff team, you can't. If like Raheem Morris, who's a very good head coaching candidate, might get one this year, has Zoom interviews, but he can't do in-person interviews till Monday anyway. So it doesn't matter. Aaron Glenn, another minority candidate who's really good. I mean, there's several of them. So I just can't interview until then. So everything's in a holding pattern.
Saw you tweeting last night about Nick Sirianni and this plan that he has to present to ownership in Philadelphia. How critical is this, and what do you expect him to lay out?
Well, I think the main thing, obviously, they're going to make a change to defensive coordinator. I think the main thing is, do they make wholesale coordinator changes? I think that's probably the biggest question is, what do they do? If he comes back and says his hope is status quo, then I think, that's probably not going to work. And I think at that point, they'll probably end up making a move. If he comes back and says, hey, we got good pieces here, but we need new coordinators, and one of them is going to call the plays, I think, those are the kinds of changes I think you'd be looking for. He's going to present his plan, he's going to go with the owner. Will he stick around? I think probably, but you don't really know until a guy presents his plan, until the owner gets to hear what direction they're going as an organization.
NFL insider Ian Rapoport with us on the show this morning. 8 teams remain in the mix, a couple of them led by young quarterbacks who had success last week, both with Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers and C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans. Do either of those guys have enough left in their bag to pull off another upset?
I think so. I haven't gotten the sense that Jordan Love is like a flash in the pan or something. It seems like he's someone who's just finally figuring it out. And so, we'll see what kind of game he has. But some of those throws were like real big-time clutch veteran throws. The throw in the end zone, the last one, kind of sidearm, I was like, woof. And then, for C.J. Stroud, look, the Ravens are really, really, really tough defense. They're going to throw absolutely everything at him. We'll see if it's enough. He is electric, and I think his ability to hit the deep ball is something that can really flip a game on its head. He's just so easy and so relaxed back there, just tossing it. I can't really remember anyone who looks like that throwing it. I just can't. So I like that matchup as well. This year was a weird quarterback year just because of all the injuries, but I think we're getting some pretty fun ones in this playoffs, especially some young ones that maybe we didn't know about previously.
Well, what about the Bucs? Like, if you're the Detroit Lions and you got a pretty good run defense, but you can be picked apart through the air a little bit, how concerned are you with how good Baker Mayfield? Like, they left a lot of yards out there. Evans had a few drops. Mayfield could have gone off for 400
Everybody
in that
had
game.
a few drops. Yeah, it felt like. Yeah. It's like that was a bad game for the Eagles, but it could have been worse. I think Baker's starting to feel healthy. He was a full participant in practice yesterday. That was a good sign. To me, the Bucs are, it's tall task. There was a tall task last week. They are not the most talented team by any stretch. They're tough and they fight. And Baker is running around with a lot of confidence, and I think guys feed off that. So, I kind of like what they're doing. I don't know what the ceiling is, but I do like what they're doing.
All right, and how much have you been looking at the weather in Buffalo over the last 48 hours?
Yeah, just to make sure that everyone can go. It was a tough, very, very tough, situation over the weekend, delaying the game. And I know for the Steelers, that was, particularly hard. I just want it to be normal so we can get a good game and see who wins. If it's the Bills, if they can finally play the Dragon, get in the AFC title game, it's an incredible season for the Bills no matter what, considering where they've come from. But, there's a lot out there that would be fun. If we get, any matchup is good, but, Ravens-Bills would be pretty amazing for the AFC title game.
And Ian, Reba McEntire announced this morning she'll be doing the anthem at Super Bowl in Las Vegas. Does this speak to you in any way? Are you a 90s country fan at all? Or your thoughts on Reba McEntire doing the anthem?
I would say I'm more interested in the Post Malone part of the the program, but
fair.
But I get it. I actually have 2 close friends who are obsessed with Reba. So first thing I did was send them a text today, and I think the NFL does a really good job of speaking to all fan bases.
They've got their bases covered this year. That's
true.
for sure. Yeah, that's true. As always, buddy, we appreciate the time, man. We'll chat next week. Enjoy these games this weekend.
All right, you guys too. Take care.
There you go. That's Ian Rapoport, NFL insider from the NFL Network. You can find him on Twitter at RapSheet. Jesse is in, says, listening from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Somebody else just said Great Falls.
The Twin Cities.
As well, so I've added that as well. It's going to be a busy pin mapping day. Zacticum's going to have to get ready. That's been the bulk of his practicum so far.
Yeah.
Zach, here's where people are listening from. Pin it on the board.
Took a good page on his report, hey?
Yeah. Dear Nate, what the hell am I doing here?
The colors of pins. So many colors.
Here's another beef I've got. My wife Tammy texts. Says, good morning, I love you. That's nice.
That's really
Try
nice.
to butter me up.
That, yeah?
Try to butter me up. I'm not even going to say it back after this next text. I have beef with how messy your desk is, too. Move it all to the other side. It's the easy thing to do to look more professional and not clutter up the main screen, as I've been saying from the beginning. If there was an anti-conch right now, I'd be playing an anti-conch for my wife. What's so cluttered here? It's a mouse for the computer. It's my phone, just in case anybody has to text me, like you. And then it's papers for the show.
Your soundboard.
Like, how is this cluttered? This is a soundboard so we can do great things. Like, I don't know. This is me in the basement after this today.
You're gonna live with me now. Yeah, I'm gonna take care of you. Because I love you. I love you, John. Oh, I love you, John.
Should make for an interesting supper time conversation tonight. This supper table's too busy.
Yeah.
Knock it off.
Why are all these plates with food here? Like, I mean, come on. The last thing I need is my wife siding with handsome Tom Gazzola on the desk, the cluttering of the desk. Kennesaw, Georgia. I just keep writing down all these places.
Here.
I want to make it so busy that Zacticum spends his entire shift today just searching for places on a map.
We'll get an updated photo of that map too. Northside Sandwich wants a little bit of a. We'll get that out there. We'll tweet it out.
Dusty, more like crusty. Guys, why does Lieutenant Eric have a notepad?
This is kind of my menu of the show.
How dare you have a notepad on the desk?
I like to have the show.
Do people not realize
I have a pen to write down
that a desk is a place to hold things? Right? Like if we couldn't have anything here, then why even have the desk?
Having
We'll just
said
sit
that,
here in chairs.
I only have the essentials. I only have what I need. I don't have anything else to.
You have the exact same stuff as me. Paper to write.
A drink.
A drink. Your phone is kind of there.
Now I have a charger to. I mean, that's who needs that, right? Staring at a dead laptop.
What's on the side there, Dusty? Are you talking about this? This is our
That's a hell of a thing
soundboard.
for you to say to him.
Yeah. What's on the side over there?
That is a hell of a thing for you to say to me.
This is how we get our computer to play stuff,
and that's
to make the show better
not
for
even
you.
that big. It's fine. I think it's a very organized. And then the middle ground is just this is the no man's land, and it's fine. We're kind of.
Do you know how much we paid for this desk? This desk is like the thing that we paid the most for out of anything in this office.
Custom made.
We need to put stuff on it. You can plug stuff into this desk.
Yeah,
We're not supposed to plug things in.
That's what it's for.
This desk is to hold stuff. Rory, not McElroy's in it, says, well, I hadn't noticed the messy desk prior to that text from Dusty's wife, but now I can't not notice. It's not desk. Sheldon says, you guys should go McAfee style. Stand up with muscle shirts. You see how much stuff's on his desk?
Well, that's what I'm
he
saying.
probably has to stand up because the desk is so cluttered.
PTI, you get lost in the confusion, right? Who's talking? Is it that bobblehead or that bobblehead?
Anyway, the Edmonton Oilers are looking to make it 12 in a row. We're looking to make it 3 in a row after some doofus didn't win Kind of Easy Trivia on Monday. All right, so if you want to play Kind of Easy Trivia right now, text us, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999, and you could win a Mr. Mike's gift certificate. No, it's not on the desk here. It's properly placed over in a Wannick's office. That's where the gift certificate is, but we want to give it to you, to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual. If you want to play Kind of Easy Trivia today, text us at 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Let YouTube Trev know that you would like to play Kind of Easy Trivia. Trev, what's on your desk over there today? What do you got? Oh, Trev has a keyboard on his desk. Unbelievable.
And my laptop, coffee, and a water bottle. That's it.
There you go.
Look at me. I even keep my water down here.
I keep my water on the floor. And we've got a desk here. And we keep our waters on the floor, you know? All right. If you want to play today, 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999.
Wait till we have the judge's gavel for hot takes, hey? That's gonna spin everybody into.
Tommy will quit. 3 questions too many. Kind of Easy Trivia. Orange and Blue Breakfast. Scalding Hot Takes. Might have some new takes coming up after this morning. Hey. And Geroy Simon. Geroy Simon's going to be by as well. Talk about some of these moves that your Edmonton Elks have made. If you want to play kind of easy trivia, 780-218-9999. If you're looking for a place to work, Eric's got some more information on that coming up with a sports update.
The Edmonton Oilers look to make it 12 straight wins tonight. They welcome in the Seattle Kraken. You can join Tom Gazzola and YouTube Trev for the Oil Stream pre- and post-game shows right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Coverage starts at 5:30 this evening. It's one of 11 games around the NHL. Last night, just a pair as Montreal defeat the Devils 3-2 and the Wings over the Panthers 3-2 in overtime. AJHL action from yesterday. Sherwood Park Crusaders falling to Calgary 4-2. Brooks 7, Bonnyville 2. Canmore 3-1 over Grand Prairie. And Camrose getting past Olds 3-2. Action will resume tomorrow night with another 4 games. PWHL action will resume Saturday with a pair. Last night it was Boston over Toronto 3-2, while Minnesota got past Ottawa 3-2 in overtime. The Raptors back on the court tonight. They'll host the Bulls in one of 5 games around the NBA. Toronto victorious last night with a 121-97 home court win over the Heat. And Reba McEntire alongside Post Malone and Andra Day have been announced to perform at the Super Bowl pregame. You can join the entire EST crew for Super Bowl 58 at the Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge at Centric Casino Fort Road, Edmonton, February 11th. Menu items under $10. Drink specials. Renee will be there, and your chance at prizing throughout the day. The sports update brought to you by Claiborne Services. They are hiring now, looking for journeyman bricklayers and all levels of apprentices. You can start a new career or take your current one to the next level with their well-established mentorship program. Visit www.claiborneservices.com for more.
The Nielsen Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
.804 on the Nielsen Show. Dustin Nielson and Lieutenant Eric with you. This text is in and says, Dusty, are you sure that was your wife? Sounds more like mine. That's a funny.
Well, Gazzola usually starts his text to you with the "I love you." Hey, like that's usually how he. Maybe it's Tommy that.
Yeah, maybe it was Tommy. Trev's getting somebody to play kind of easy trivia right now. We got 3 questions too many coming up. We're juggling a few things here in this hour. We got the Orange and Blue Breakfast, which is on the way for Mobile One and Blue Water Lubricants. We'll either get to that around 8:20 here, depending on how 3 questions goes, and if it gets completely off the rails. Oilers looking to make it 12 in a row. Trying to track down the Columbus Blue Jackets, 16 of the John Tortorella, Cam Atkinson era, with Sergei Bobrovsky standing on his bloody head. But yeah, that's the Columbus Blue Jackets, we learned this morning, have the second longest winning streak in NHL history. 16 games behind the 92-93 Pittsburgh Penguins, who did not win a Stanley Cup and were upset by the New York Islanders.
Alex Wenberg, part of that Blue Jackets team, will be in the building tonight as part of your Seattle Kraken. It's all coming together.
It looks like everything's come around full circle. That's interesting. All right, keep those texts rolling in. We are having some fun with this today. It could be how you get in the mix on text of the day. We dropped this on you a little bit earlier, this play-by-play guy who this was quite the scene. I don't know if you guys caught this if you're with us in the 6 o'clock hour, but if you're with us here in the 8 o'clock hour, we're kind of banging into this here a little bit today.
The rush. Pulls it back there, and now Murphy. Murphy throws the pass across. And that puck's going to go out of play here, and that's going to do it for that sequence right there. 9:25 left. I apologize if I just damaged your eardrums there. It went right over the mesh, right over my head. So, oh my God, I apologize for that. I'm sorry.
He's sorry. So we've been having a little bit of fun with that bad boy today. You can keep those text messages rolling in as we work our way through the show. That's the clip that we're having some fun with. So you got to text those in. And that's probably how you can win text of the day today. For A&W in the Paris Jewelers inbox at 780-218-9999. Michael says, morning, boys, just tuning in. Did you all talk with Gazdic yet? Or should I scrub backwards and travel in time? Right? Is that the neatest thing?
Scrub backwards.
Yeah, scrub backwards, travel in time.
That's a new term.
Just after first hour of the show, you'll get Luke Gazdic to kick off hour number 2 about an hour ago. And as per usual, Luke Gazdic was great today. Who's going to be great today on Kind of Easy Trivia, buddy? Trev, who do we got?
Today we have Corey.
Corey today. Looking to get his hands on a gift certificate to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual, where they have the 6 o'clocker lager on tap, because it's the casualest place ever. In the Hampton Inn on the corner of 137th Ave and Mark Messier Trail, the sirloin bites, the classic Mike, the 6 o'clocker lager. You cannot go wrong there.
Corey and Trevor reunited again. Hey, over
Corey
the phone.
and Trevor.
I love it.
Corey and Trevor. Did you get that reference, Trevor?
Yeah, I get the reference. I like that. That's good.
Yeah. Corey, Trevor, smokes.
Let's go.
Smokes, let's go. Smokes, let's go. All right, let's bring in Corey today. Corey, you ready to play?
Absolutely.
All right, I will start the ticker after I read the first question. You need to get 3 out of 5 correct to win that gift certificate to Mr. Mike's. Here we go. Who do the Edmonton Oilers play tonight?
Kraken.
Name one former Oiler on the Kraken.
Kimberly.
Which team traded away Pascal Siakam yesterday?
The Raptors.
Mike McCarthy is still the coach of which team?
The Cowboys.
Who did the Cowboys lose to this past weekend?
Green Bay Packers.
Boom! Corey, big sports guy.
Gets a nipple erection.
Oh, is that dirty?
This is not just a dream, it's a wet dream of orgasmic proportions.
Oh, is that dirty?
Frustration sets in and the emotion goes out, and then you just start playing by yourself.
Oh, is that dirty?
You cannot come to my house. No, 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 not today.
You cannot come to my house. No, 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 not today.
Clubby Loop provided by Corey via Trevor. And we are back on track. 3 wins in a row heading in to a Friday. Probably going to send an email out to all of our draftees today about the captain's draft. Likely looking at January 31st.
January 31st?
Right, Oilers aren't playing. Final Wednesday of the month. I mean, we could also do it on the Friday if we wanted, really. To talk
It's always,
with,
always a little fun with the beer of the week.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's not bad, actually. Yeah, I guess we could do it the Friday, too, because the Oilers, they're off that week.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we could do a Friday draft.
Let's get those categories humming, hey?
Friday draft's not bad. We're going to be doing a draft of captains, which would be some of the best leaders in the history of sports, and also guys like Captain Planet,
or
Captain Kirk, and Captain Crunch.
Seafaring men. Or when,
Captain Barbosa.
Captain Highliner.
Captain Highliner. Wouldn't that be something?
Taking that Islanders logo, baby.
You're going to get that Islanders logo no matter what, eh? So, yeah, that should be fun. They're going to be doing that in a couple of weeks. Our drafts have done, from a views and downloads perspective, extremely well here for us. So we're very much looking forward to doing a captain's draft with the same crew, I would think, if everybody can make it in that final week. Tommy
Nobody got relegated, eh?
Nobody got relegated. The commissioner, Quinn, did an amazing job. She'll be back out soon.
Troy will be in the bleachers.
Troy will probably pop by and watch.
Cheap seats.
Chirp everybody the entire time, then just disappear.
Fall asleep on one of the chairs.
Yeah, so we'll get into that. Okay. Let's get to 3 questions too many today. Lieutenant Eric, do you have a liner for the segment?
I do. 3 questions too many, brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda, where dealer principal Mitch Lewicki wouldn't mind trying his hand at an EST draft. Park Mazda.
Come on.
Get the dealer in here.
Wouldn't that be
We got to even get Mitch on the hangout.
So
Guy can talk
actually,
sports.
we should get Mitch on the hangout.
We've known him for years.
Yeah.
He's helped you get a try. I mean, he's helped us in a variety of ways. I just think he wouldn't mind coming in here on the chat some
You know
sports
who I
for
heard
an
is
hour
going
or
to be
two.
on the hangout next Friday? Maddie's already booking next week. Scott Laurie, Redbeard himself.
Good. Get him in
on
there.
the hangout next Friday, which should be good. Guys, Tommy's already won that draft. Signed, Captain Obvious. Man, does Captain Obvious get selected in a draft of captains?
It's a play, hey?
Do you have a Twitter account?
I do. At Lieutenant_Eric, where I've taken a picture of my cap this morning. And you can follow Edmonton Sports Talk at YEG Sports Talk.
Tommy, when he's watching this morning and sees my hat currently sitting
Yeah.
on the desk. Calm down, Tommy. Calm down. Jody's in and says, messy desk. I'm a high school teacher. That's not messy. Yeah, Jodes, I could see, like most teachers, and God love them because they're educating the next generation. And I've already hit a soft spot with my wife, and she's a teacher, so I probably got to be a little bit careful here. But teacher desks are, for the most part, very messy. Like things are piling up all over the place.
This would,
but I don't blame them.
This would put any teacher's desk to shame.
They'd be very jealous of this desk.
So
we basically have just the necessities on this desk.
And as you mentioned, we do have a hot drink, but our cold drink we even put it. We could put it up here if we wanted.
I'm sitting here partially hydrated because we want to make sure the desk looks pretty. Right, so.
But I do love you adding more things with Tommy moving forward.
Tommy's in the chat.
Uh-oh.
The desk is a mess. It's not a mess. Like there's nothing here right now.
Troy did fall asleep on one of our chairs. I was there. I saw it all. It was very wholesome. He had a full day of cheering, and then he took a little nap.
I could see a point where Troy just lives here, and we just leave.
Who's
and
to say he doesn't?
Here.
Troy?
Troy, are you in there with Whale and the Wolf? No, it's just us, Dusty. Okay, thanks, Ryan. All right, let's get into 3 questions today. Question number 1. This is a good one. Is there any way Mike McCarthy is still the head coach of the Cowboys a year from now, boys? Like exactly 1 year from now, which would mean they'd have to just get to the second round of the playoffs.
They win the Super Bowl and he gets fired. If they,
I think he will be. I think he will be.
I guess the question would be, well, who else does Jerry go and get? And if he doesn't think there's anybody else, then
like he's already confirmed he'll be back this year. It just comes down to whether or not they win a playoff game next season. They'll be a double-digit win team. They'll be in the playoffs.
The division's theirs again, right? You can't tell me that.
Well, I mean, the Eagles, if they ever figure it out again, like, but yeah, you're not worried about the Giants. And you're not worried about the Commanders.
You're re-racking it. You're re-racking it. So
yeah, I would think, like, if you were to ask me this question again in a month, my answer would probably be no. But exactly a year from now, I would think McCarthy is probably still the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
Tube Socks wants this TV off the stand.
Well, the original plan was to mount the TV on the wall, but then the mount that we got didn't work, and then it was like the night before we launched. And this here, if you're listening on TuneIn or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, I'm pointing to the 4th piece of the desk. This desk is actually supposed to be 4 sections. Like it was going to be a monster.
Yeah.
And Trev, did you just learn that? You just
yeah, that's news to me.
Trev said just like what? But yeah, we took the 4th piece of the desk, tucked it into the corner nicely, and that's why we got the TV on it there. So it's not that messy. It looks okay. Question number 3. This one actually came into my DMs last night on Twitter. Eberle or Larson? Bring one of them back.
Ooh.
I don't even want to answer this question. I want you to answer this question. Don't you dare. I want you to answer this question. 780-218-9999. Hit us up in the nasty chat as well. We had Rashad on Monday. He said the Oilers should be looking for a top 6 winger.
I'm pulling this
Well,
thing.
Jordan Eberle would still fit that bill. He'd be a second-line guy, player Leon Draisaitl. Adam Larson would be the upgrade on Cody. And I like Cody Ceci. Ceci's been having. He's not going to score. That's not his job. I think Ceci has been playing. Trev, am I wrong? Ceci's been playing well enough.
Yeah,
so far this year, I think.
Yeah, Ceci's been like the big thing. A lot of people say this: if you don't really notice a defenseman, he's probably doing the job right.
Yes.
And he's not coughing up the puck much. He's doing everything.
How many post games have you and Tommy come in and ripped on Cody Ceci?
Never, not once this whole season. Like he's done what he's supposed to do, but saying that, like I would like, if this was, we're speaking hypothetical, yeah. I'd like to see Lars with Nurse, and I think Ceci, like he's done a fine job on the second pairing, and then bring Ceci down with Kulak. Like I think that'd be ideal.
I like what I've seen from Desharnais lately, but if you're going to be a championship caliber team and Desharnais your 7th in like a conference final that you can slide in. That's the type of depth that you would want to have. And like Desharnais is an everyday NHLer. That's being accepted here. And he's improved under Paul Coffey, in my opinion. But if you could bring back a Larson, play him with Nurse, put CC and Kulak together, and then have Desharnais as the guy when injuries eventually hit, and they will, that's a pretty decent spot to be in. So, yeah, I think the answer would be Larson here. I mean, it's never going to happen with either of them, but I think the answer would be Larson. I saw some people, one guy in the nasty chat says Eberle, and 780-218-9999, Larson by a mile, Larson with a bullet.
Just think from an emotional point of view, right? Analytics and play and all that aside, too, it'd be nice to see, given the whole one-for-one mess. You know, get him back for a run.
That would be really nice. All right, and let's get to this one. There's a lot of these guys. This one I found on Twitter last night. I was like, we're going to talk about this. Who are the top 5 receivers in the CFL, in your opinion? Many of these guys have reworked their contracts or recently signed. Who are the top 5? I think I've narrowed it down to 6. And Rick, you can chime in here and see if I'm missing anybody. If I had to say the top 6, Keon Hatcher, Geno Lewis, Schoen and Lawler, Reggie Begelton. I lied. There's 7. Reggie Begelton, Hollins with BC, and Tim White.
The Hollins, and of course BC bringing back Hollins and getting rid of,
just
moving on from Dominic Rhymes.
Oh, and I forgot about Rhymes.
Well, and that's a funny one too. He'll be.
So who would you, if we had to narrow it down to 5? Who would it be? We're eliminating some good names here because there are 7 to 8. There's 7 to 8 elite receivers in the CFL right now, and I would say there's 15 to 20 really good receivers in the CFL right now. It's a strong position in the league.
I like Schoen.
Schoen's got to be in there. He's been a cheat code since he came in.
I like Tim White.
Yeah, White, we don't watch as much out west, but he is a stud.
He is Hamilton offense there with a...
So that's 2 of the 5 spots
you're
already.
You're getting, today is a funny one because I obviously BC's very bullish on Hollins, and I would expect, even continued improvement from him coming into next season. The Dom Rhymes thing, he was goal last year, but again, making room for Hollins. They have to move on from him.
He was hurt last year,
He will be, but an outstanding receiver in his own right.
Rhymes isn't in my top 5 right now.
No, and I don't know, I'd maybe a healthy Dominic Rhymes maybe gets up there. I'm just trying to make a case for guys here. Whitehead's time is kind of come and gone. I like Schoen. I like Hatcher. Austin Mack would have been up there.
You said White as well.
White as well.
Okay, so that's 3.
Schoen, White, Hatcher.
Does Kenny Lawler not have to be in there?
Yeah,
he's a freak.
Based on and he restructured, right? But he makes a good chunk of change out there in Winnipeg.
And Geno?
Yeah, Dembski. Got a little time for that as well.
I got a little bit of time for Dembski.
Dude who is...
I got a ton of time for Reggie Begelton, who somebody claimed in the nasty chat. That's a made-up name. Reggie Begelton was everything to the Calgary Stampeders this year.
I've always had a soft spot for Kyron Moore. I know he might not reside in the top 5, but
he would be a top 25
I do like the
guy,
versatility of guys like him and Dembski in the league as opposed to just a
Dembski
static wide receiver. I like how you can move him around and the motion. And
I think I'd probably throw Geno in here.
Geno's he's
so you'd go not in order, but Schoen, White, Lawler, Hatcher, Geno Lewis.
It's a good list.
Man, I feel dirty not having Reggie Begelton in there, though.
It's tough. You're always going to... You build 2 Mount Rushmores, really, but... Tavares Daniels still knocking at the door for you? MLS and Bain as well, putting up some good numbers last season, albeit on a bad Rough Riders squad. You could maybe...
Yeah, but those guys, like I said, I think the position's 25 deep.
Yeah.
And those guys all fit, all of those guys. Henry, when he's healthy, is a good receiver. There's Dembski, obviously. Dembski's a top 10 guy. And there's a bunch of guys out east that we haven't even really sort of got into yet. Gittins Jr. would be a top 25 guy.
You'd have him, healthy Gittins Jr. with MBT.
It's a really strong position. Really strong position, which is good.
It makes a 4-team fantasy league so much fun.
And it makes a 6-team fantasy league doable. And some people, and there's a good buzz about it, and I know, Maddie, if you're listening driving in today, you're going to want to pull over. But there's a real good buzz now emerging from our league last year that the 6-team league is the way to go for CFL fantasy moving forward.
Are you talking at all, or are there any whispers of expansion?
No, 6 is the perfect number.
Okay.
6 is the perfect number. 4 is clearly too small.
Thought maybe in traditional CFL style you want to go to that odd number of 7.
No, that would be
a
weird.
crossover, you know?
Well, imagine having bye week in CFL fantasy. That would really suck. I think you got to go with. I think you got to go with 6. Yeah. I like this. Dell and GSM. I'm going to come back and address this. I see some guys in the nasty chat being like, "How would Dusty, publicly lambaste?" I didn't say which company or which radio station. I viewed them coming to me disrespectful to what we're building here because they thought I would give up what we've built here to go work somewhere else for less money and just give up what we've built here. Like I said, I replied politely. I said, "Thank you for the job offer. I appreciate it. Now is not the time. Edmonton Sports Talk's going very well." But they know what we have here. And to me, and there's a history with them a bit. And to me, it was almost like a shot to be like, why don't you come work for this lesser property over here? Because, Edmonton Sports Talk's not going to work. And we've heard that so much over the last 6 months. It didn't hit me right. And somebody slides in and it's just like, so I can see where you're coming. Like, I replied politely. I said, thanks for the job offer. Now's not the time. But to me, it came across as, because I know they know what we're doing here. And it came across as a bit of a slap in the face of what we're building. So that's why I had beef with it. Because it made no sense.
And you're entitled to have a beef. You can have beef. You don't have to explain your beef, but you are. And
as the commissioner of that 4-team league. All right, let's get to our. So that, for those of you who are like, there's more to it than just. It came across as weird and greasy, as opposed to just somebody stepping up and being like, they know what we're doing, so don't.
Love what you're doing.
Don't. To me, it was like, hey, if we could get Dusty to leave Edmonton Sports Talk, that would kill it. And that just didn't seem right to me. So that's it. Geroy Simon's going to be joining us here in a little bit. So let's, I want to have a good chat with Geroy. So let's do it. Let's do an orange and blue breakfast right now. Let's get into the orange and blue breakfast right now. For Mobile One, Blue Water Lubricants. Blue Water Lubricants. You know how they're good? They've been operating for 50 years now. They've got their hands in everything. And, of course, big-time providers of Mobile One, the lubiest in the business. If you want it to run, get it done with Mobile One. And have some fun in the sun. And now I'm done. All right, let's get into this bad boy. The Oilers tonight against the Seattle Kraken. The Kraken had been rolling, not so much recently. Okay? They had won 9 in a row. Coming off of losses, 3-0 to Pittsburgh, 5-2 to the Rangers. They have lost 2 in a row. This is their 6th consecutive game on the road. So an interesting spot here for the Oilers tonight, who've just been an absolute buzzsaw. The Oilers against Toronto allowed 2 goals. Against Montreal allowed 1 goal. Against Detroit allowed 2 goals. Against Chicago allowed 1 goal. Against Ottawa they allowed 1. Against Philly they allowed 2. Against Anaheim they allowed 2. Against the Kings they allowed 2. Against the Sharks they allowed 0. You have to go back to the game against the Rangers on December 22nd, the last time the Oilers allowed 3 goals in a game. So tough spot for the Kraken here in this one. And we'll see if the Oilers can take advantage of it. One of the things Lou Gazdic mentioned a little bit earlier on today was the fact that he wants to see the Oilers have a little bit of a better start. And obviously, coming off that game against Toronto when they give up a goal on the first look 30 seconds in, that's going to be something that a lot of people are probably going to say.
And a game full of emotion, right? The building was bumping. I don't think you're getting that same pop tonight when the Kraken are rolling into town. So you kind of have to address that as well.
Different
Don't
vibe
play down and
with the Kraken rolling
keep
around.
up that intensity.
That's it. Let's see here. Connor McDavid between Hyman and Nuge. Draisaitl with Fogle and Kane when we last saw this team on the ice in game action. Ryan McLeod, just an amazing third period in that win over Toronto. McLeod between Derek Ryan and Matthias Janmark, Hamlin, Connor Brown, and Adam Ernie. Is tonight the night that Connor Brown finds the back of the nets? And keep asking that. Eventually it's going to happen. He had a couple of really good looks last game. It's got to happen at some point. This guy is fully engulfed. The Schneid is starting to take over parts of his body, like Grayscale in Game of Thrones.
Schneid, yeah. District 19 or whatever it is. He's
physically merging with the Schneid right now, and he needs to get off of it. Ekholm, Bouchard, Kulak, and Vincent Desharnais. As for the Seattle Kraken, now the Kraken during their run, they were not, it's similar to the Oilers. Like, it was 2 goals against, it was 1 goal against. They scored 7 in one game. Not an overly offensive club. And like I said, playing their 3rd game in 4 nights, 6th game of a road trip. McCann with Eberle and Thomas Tatar. Wenberg with Tanev and Jaden Schwartz, Yanni Gord, Bjorkstrom, and Tolvin. Like, it's a deeper team, not in the Oilers, but like it's a deep-ish team, but not a high-end team.
No, yeah,
the Seattle
that's
Kraken,
fair.
right?
Yeah.
And Kyler Yamamoto, by the way, on the 4th line with the Kraken right now. Riker Evans and Adam Larson, Oleksiak and Borgen, Dumoulin, and former Edmonton Oiler Justin Schultz. As for a list of guys who aren't tough enough to play hockey tonight.
Well, you mentioned the deepness of the Kraken as well, and missing a few key names. Vince Dunn, Andre Burakovsky listed as day-to-day this morning. You got Matty Beniers, PEB, that's Pierre-Edouard Bellemare, and Philip Grubauer, all residing on the IR. And for the Edmonton Oilers, I think a little talk about Sam Gagner yesterday as well. He's working his way slowly back from an injury, but he is the only name to reside on the injury list this morning and listed as day-to-day. Evander Kane not skating in practice yesterday, but expected to be in, and that was Captain Hunch's go-to earlier.
Yeah. Evander Kane's over plus 200, 240 or something to get a goal tonight.
He had a great look, too, last game.
Captain Hunch, you still feeling that?
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Oh, it's good. Whoa.
It's going to happen.
Captain Hunch.
I got a
Making
feeling.
bold claims this morning. How about that? Lieutenant Eric, your key to an Oilers victory this evening.
Well, I mentioned, keep not saying it's going to happen, but that high-intensity matchup with the Leafs and the fans and everybody chanting, and all that playoff atmosphere. Try to bottle some of that and, take that into the start, because as YouTube Trev mentioned, you get on this team, I think you shouldn't have a problem. I don't see Seattle kind of roaring back. So get on them early, and of course Joey Decord in place of Philip Grubauer, as Luke Gazdic pointed out earlier, has been playing very well, as they did against Detroit and as they did the other night against Martin Jones. Make life difficult for Joey in the net there, and get some pressure and work it deep, and maybe get the puck on net. Draisaitl goal was an example the other night, right? So make life a little tough for Decord and net. Come out hopping, and that should lead you to a win this evening. In regulation.
At minus 128. Available over at Cool Bets. Game day prediction for tonight. Zach Hyman scores a goal, and it counts. It counts this time for Zach Hyman. Yeah, this guy, he just plays hard. Like, the offside one's different, but he gets around the net, causes some issues. You have to love the way Zach Hyman plays the game of hockey. We threw this out there earlier with Luke Gazdic. Is McDavid, Nuge, Hyman the best line that Connor McDavid's ever been on?
Oh, Ty Ratty would like a word. Think of all the names.
I'll see your McDavid, Nuge, and Hyman, and add in Pat Maroon, Ty Ratty, and Connor McDavid.
It's a good thing when you're downing a couple of pints to list off all those guys, right? The 97 shooters over the years. But yeah, I mean, how could you? What are you bringing to the table that would present a legit argument?
Well, like McDavid and Draisaitl always, but have you? Like, McDavid's never been on a line without Leon Draisaitl that has had this much success, I don't think. Yeah, in fact, I know it. Like, there's never been a line that hasn't had Draisaitl up there with McDavid that has been anywhere close to as good as what they're rolling right now. So that's something to look for tonight as they go up against the Kraken. The Orange and Blue Breakfast brought to you by Mobile One and the Blue Water Group, Atlantic Canada's largest ship supplier and Canada's largest independent distributor of mobile branded lubricants. They have you covered, celebrating Blue Water Group's 50th anniversary, and they want to thank every single one of their customers and employees for sharing a fantastic 50-year journey with them, with the Blue Water Group.
P1.
We'll get to Scalding Hot Takes coming up a little bit later on. The judge, Your Honor, Joaquin Gage, will be by here around 8:45. He's going to be on the Hangout today. Kevin Radomski and Gager. It's going to be a fun hockey chat today on the Hangout. We're going to talk some football right now. And Assistant General Manager of the Edmonton Elks, Geroy Simon, joins us on the show. Geroy, how you doing, buddy? Good to catch up, man. How's the offseason going?
It's great. Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good.
Great.
What's your off season like? I mean, during the season, obviously, is busy with games, but right now must be a pretty busy time for the brass, right?
Yeah, it's pretty busy right now. Obviously, we're trying to, get the team together and get prepared for free agency. Hopefully, we won't be as active in free agency as we have been in the past. But there are some key pieces that will go after. But right now it's preparing for for free agency as well as All-Star game season. So I'm in Orlando, Florida right now. Been here for about a week. Looking at getting ready to go to Tropical Bowl, watch practice tonight, and then head to San Diego tomorrow morning for a kicking showcase. So it's pretty busy right now. This is a fun time of year. We get to see different parts of North America. So it's quite fun.
How much right now is just putting together lists? How much of right now is actually talking to guys and trying to bring them in?
Yeah, so a lot of right now is like you said, putting together a list of guys that are going to be future probably 2025, 2026 players that comes to the CFL, and going over lists from 2023, 2022, 2023 guys who are coming out of university and or that other league as well as the NFL, looking at guys who are free agents and possibly can be guys to add to our rosters.
It has been a very eventful month or so here for your organization. Obviously, the last couple of years have not gone the way that fans or the team or anybody involved wanted to go in. How much of a discussion was it? Like, how much debate was there about going out and bringing in a veteran quarterback like MBT, and how important is it for you guys to win right now with him at the helm?
Well, yeah, we're in kind of win now mode, but the thing. We tore the roster down to the studs and built it back up twice. So we feel we're in a good situation and prepared to go on a nice run of winning a lot of games over the next few years, and not only just for this year, but years to follow. Bringing in the quarterback of McLeod Bethel Thompson's stature, a guy who's led the league in passing. He's a Grey Cup champion. He's a leader. He's a selfless guy, selfless player, selfless individual, and all around great man. It was a no-brainer to that when we had the opportunity to bring him in, we really jumped on the chance. The recruiting of him took quite a long time. It's something that I've been basically working on, ever since the season ended. So we knew that we needed a veteran presence in the room and someone to take charge in the locker room. We felt that's where we were lacking in the leadership department, and no better person to bring in than McLeod Bethel Thompson.
You mentioned the recruiting of him took some time. How do you sell a team that's only won 4 games a lot? Do you have to kind of lay out the plan of how you plan on building this roster? What level did you have to go to recruit this guy?
Well, yeah, you lay out the plan, you lay out the vision. It's just like any sales job. You gotta sell the vision, and it's not that much of a sales job that you have to do because I think that I hold myself in high regard and my reputation precedes me. I think that Jerry Jackson and Marcus Howell, they've had a great relationship with him, and then you look at the roster. Our roster is very close. There was plenty. Even though we only won 4 games last year, we were close in a lot of games. There were a lot of games that we felt like we should have won. So when you look at the roster, you look at the people in the building, you look at some of the reputations in the building, and the talent level. It's not a hard sell. We just, like I said, we needed a few pieces. We needed veteran leadership. We needed someone to take take charge of the locker room, which we felt we didn't have at that point. And he knows what he is as a player and as a leader. So it wasn't a hard sell. It's just a matter of, painting the picture. And then, once we paint the picture and everybody's in line with that, then you talk about the money aspect, which didn't take very long at all.
The Serezna Gittins trade was amazing because it was a blockbuster in the Canadian Football League and gave us a lot to discuss here in the offseason, which we absolutely love doing. Caught a little bit off guard. Take us through the thought process on that deal. We know Gittins has a great connection with MBT, so obviously that helps. But Serezna was a big part of your team for the last couple of years. So is this significantly ratio related? Is it talent related? What was the main driver behind that? Because that was a fascinating deal.
Well, yeah, there's a number of levels and different variables to it. Obviously, Curly Gittins is a very talented player. He's a guy who's, again, he's only been in the league for a short period of time, but he's had very, very good success. He comes from a winning program, both in university and at the Toronto Argonauts. He's a leader. He's a selfless player. And a talented player, but then being a Canadian, that's also something that he's a ratio changer.
Yeah.
He's 26 years old, and we feel that Coach Jones and our scouting staff is very talented and finding, developing, and recruiting defensive linemen. So Jake was a very good player for us over the last couple of years. He was a great leader, but we felt that it was almost a no-brainer to swap a Canadian for an American and a starter at that, and then at a lesser salary. So there's also there's feelings involved, but this is also a business, and we shed our salary cap just by a little bit, and we got a guy that is 26 years old that's going to play another 8 to 10 years in this league, or 8 to 9 years in this league, and he's going to do great things.
Geroy Simon with us, Elks Assistant General Manager here on the show today. You did mention that you don't want to have to be super busy in free agency, but there are a couple pieces that you would like to add. What would priorities be right now? Like, we can look at the construction of the roster and probably see the areas that you guys would address, but what would the focus be for you guys, do you think?
Well, I don't want to give away the game plan, but the thing is, our motto is get bigger, faster, stronger,
okay,
and more explosive. So those are the things that we're going to target in free agency. Like I said, I doubt that we'll be super busy, but and the signings that we're making, we're look at the guys we're signing. We're signing big physical defensive backs. We're signing big physical receivers, and big physical running backs. So, and obviously offensive line. We feel that we have a very good offensive line, and we're very close to securing the guys from last year and possibly bringing someone else in. So yeah, we're just getting bigger, faster, stronger. That's the key to 2024.
Geroy, just zooming out even further, and specifically with your position, I just want to get your thoughts on the UFL, or the newest version of the UFL, of course, merging XFL and all that, a new spring league down south. Is this going to make your job or jobs across the league harder, less, or maybe a bit of the same? Where do you see this thing going, and how does it relate in terms to what you do on a day-to-day?
Well, it definitely adds more work to it because, was it Monday night, 200 plus free agents became available. Yep. 200 professional players became available. So you have to go through that process of going through those guys and seeing if any of them are fits. The good thing is a lot of those guys were rejected from us in the past just based on their position. So there are other positions that we will look at, and a lot of those guys will go through the vetting process and see if they're fits for us and see if we can recruit them to Edmonton.
Geroy, great stuff, man. We really appreciate the time hopping on here while you're on the road. So thank you very much for that, and safe travels.
Thank you. Appreciate it. See you guys.
That is Geroy Simon, Elks Assistant General Manager. Interesting to see what he said about, what was I wrote it down.
Bigger, stronger.
Bigger, faster, stronger.
Bigger, faster, stronger.
What's that song?
BFS.
Where's that song?
I think that's Kanye West.
Is it Kanye West? Yeah, Kanye West.
That don't kill me, could only make me stronger.
Go faster. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, I mean, big. So this is good to me. This is good because bigger, faster, stronger sounds like offensive line and defensive line. Nothing against any of the other positions, but I don't want to read too much into it. But getting some now that Serezna's gone in the CFL. And I was thinking about this when he brought up Gittins Jr. as a Canadian. And as a Riders fan, you might want to go earmuffs on this. But the Bombers have been to 4 straight Grey Cups.
Mm-hmm.
They have a veteran quarterback.
Great offensive line.
Great offensive line. Like I'm trying to look at
line.
I'm looking
Zach
at the
Collaros
pieces.
has been protected. Brady Oliveira, Canadian in his own right, has been running roughshod. I don't know if he does that in front of a lot of other offensive lines in the league. Who's to say? But the power of the line.
The power of the line. The Elks have the receivers. They have the running back. They now have this veteran quarterback who has had success in the league. They have that Canadian receiver in Nick Dembski, who makes a significant difference when you factor the ratio in. So the Elks have added a Canadian receiver. I'm not going to put him at Dembski's level, but 2 years ago he outperformed Dembski significantly. So
with MBT,
with MBT. But it's all about the line. Look at the Bombers. The Bombers have lost guys in the secondary. They've lost guys in the linebacking core, with the exception of Big Hill, obviously. And if you can have a guy like Biggie in the middle of your defense, that's going to go a long way. But he's past his prime, but he's still impactful at that position. But they've brought in other guys like Evan Holmes, going into his 3rd year. He was absolutely outstanding. Dietrich Nichols was somebody they found a few years back you can find those guys. The defensive line with Jeff Coat on one side and Jefferson on the other, and the offensive line with Stanley Bryan on one side and Jamarcus Hardrick on the other are the main driving reason that the Bombers are the Bombers. It is. You have to be strong on the line.
Jefferson came into the league under whom as well? I do believe.
Chris Jones.
So, I mean, that's Samuel Emelis and Keon Schaefer-Baker, though, would like a word in terms of the Canadian receiver contingent, but that's to a point there as well. The Rough Riders O-line has been a patchwork of sorts, and if you can't protect the guy like Trevor Harris, he gets hurt, and doesn't matter how many good Canadian receivers you have. But yes, the line, it all starts and stops there. It'll be interesting to see, and that's why to me, again, going away from Jake Seresna, yes, that's one thing, and he's been here and he's done good work, but I wouldn't put it past Chris Jones to unearth a guy in that position specifically. You can say what you want about his quarterback procurement and everything else. When it comes to defensive studs, he has been known to unearth a few gems here or there.
But not here.
Not yet.
Now, I will say, the secondary last year, like Darius Bratton. I really liked Darius Bratton.
Purifoy coming back.
Kai Gray. Kai Gray was a really good rookie last year. So they've got a few guys there that you could say he's unearthed. But the old Chris Jones and the strength of the team defense thing hasn't been a thing since he came back.
Nope.
So maybe he's got a couple of guys up his sleeves here that make him comfortable to move Seresna. And if he does, Justin Dunk was on the show yesterday. And Dunk said that he didn't necessarily like to trade because how many guys in this league are double-digit sack guys? Not that many, and Seresna's done it in the last 2 years. But if you were sitting there, and what Geroy just say, he said they saved some money on the cap with the Seresna for Gittins move. There was a $50,000 bonus, I think, due to Jake right before the deal happened. So they obviously moved it out and managed to avoid that $50K bonus. But if Chris Jones does have a couple of guys, like if he's found an Oakman or he's found a Lanier, and I'm not even talking about those guys specifically. I'm talking about guys like them that he think can come in and maybe be the next Willie Jefferson. Well, then moving Seresna for a really good Canadian receiver actually does make sense.
That's why I think, time will tell. You can't just define this move right now, today. Got to let it breathe a bit.
Trevor in Airdrie says, so everyone has been talking about how the Elks don't improve their offensive line. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is. And now Geroy is saying he thinks they have a good offensive line and are close to bringing all the same people back. Well, there's a few pieces that
he also
like
said
that.
he's not going to give away the game plan. So
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
they're
true.
not going to. Yeah,
I did not expect Geroy to come in and say we're actually going to replace 2 of our offensive linemen, and we've got 2 studs coming in on the defensive side of the ball. I liked hearing the fact that he said they could go after a couple big pieces, which means they at least have the money to go after a couple of big pieces. So that's important, I would think. Where's Gager? Oh, he says 10 minutes, stuck in traffic.
Classic.
So Gager will be in here around. Well, we got to have Gager in to do the
You judge
hot
over the
takes.
phone. If you have
He
to.
could judge over the phone, but he doesn't
Yeah.
have to judge over the phone. I mean,
We don't
can-
have his guard
We can
yet.
even rip through the rap if we want,
Yeah.
and then get to Gager at the end of the show. Gager's gonna be on the hangout. Kevin Radomski's already here. Matty Wannick's gonna be in. We're gonna have a guest from Hockey Edmonton Popeye. I think around like 10:40 today. Talk a little bit about minor hockey week, which continues to roll along for all young hockey players here in the Edmonton area, and a lot of I never got to take part in minor hockey week. Like back in Cranbrook, we had like 2 teams.
Must
almost
have been a
play the
day
same
though.
team all
Minor
the
hockey
time.
day. The 2 teams.
I
go
don't
at
even
it.
remember. I don't remember, but I like buddies who I like play hockey with here have epic minor hockey week stories from their dad. Was like, oh man, I'll never forget minor hockey week in 1997 when went on a run. Like it's a very memorable, and my kids aren't there yet. Marshall's still U9. Things get cranked up a notch next year in U11, I think. So I'm very much looking forward. Well, am I though? Am I looking forward to the madness of minor hockey week? I don't know.
Yeah, you are.
Might intimidate me a little bit.
You will be. Once you're in there, you'll lose yourself.
All right, let's get into the rap for William Huff. We'll get to the sound of the day. And then when Gager slides in here, we will do Scalding Hot Takes, his YouTube. Do you have the mid on right now, Trev? He does. Look at that. He's got the mid. He's ready to roll. You got your hot takes ready to go? Yeah, I got mine in here too. Well, I'll get to it. Let's do the rap first. The rap's for William Huff. Visit them at williamhuff.com if you want your place to look as good as ours. Get it done at William Huff. And if you're listening on TuneIn or at edmontonsportstalk.com and you've not yet checked out the studio that we've got over on YouTube, check it out because they do some great work at William Huff. They sent the dream team over for us, and they got things taken care of for us on short notice, and we will always be grateful to them. WilliamHuff.com, they've been doing it since 1972, and they're not just wrapping walls. They're doing absolutely everything. Everything you see at Rogers Place has been wrapped and taken care of by the crew at William Huff. And if Rogers Place and the Edmonton Oilers are willing to put their faith in Bruce and his team at William Huff, why wouldn't you? All right, what did we learn on the show today, buddy?
Reba McEntire. Off the heels of a Achy Breaky Pod episode.
And right before another one.
Correct. So she's planning this great. She'll be singing the national anthem at the Super Bowl in Las Vegas ahead of Usher's halftime performance. Also, Post Malone, America the Great, or Star Spangled something. They have a lot of anthems, don't they? They have like
Post
5
Malone's
anthems.
a pretty unique, cool dude.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how he delivers this one. His dancing is funny to me.
Yeah, Posty's a beauty. I'm looking
Is that
forward.
what you call him? You call him Posty?
Yeah. A lot of people say that.
Are you guys buddies?
No, but I don't know. He said, I don't know. A lot of people, yeah, I guess. I don't know why I said that. Yeah, Post Malone's sick. But
No, but a lot of people call him Posty, isn't
yeah,
that what
a
it
lot
is?
of people
Yeah.
call him Posty.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Yeah, no, he's a beauty. I love his music. Good guy. Real nice guy, too. Everything I've heard
Does he come
about
across
him.
as a super good dude? I don't know enough about him. I just see him pop up on TikTok sometimes.
All I've heard, on Reddit and videos of him, he takes time to sign autographs and take photos with everyone. He's a super chill guy.
All right, so they've got that coming up for you as well. So that is on the way at Super Bowl weekend, which should be a lot of fun. Let us know if you're heading down there. You can share some stories with us. That would be good. I also learned today I really like these Edmonton Sports Talk shirts. Nasty Clubbers. Some of you have these. We all got them here. It's all from our merch partner, Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Promotional products that bring the what? The buzz. Check them out at the hiveproductmarketing.com. Maddie is already looking into trophies for the Esties.
As you should.
And Tube Socks has designed a sick logo for the Esties as well. Can we show it on just our phone, Trev? I don't know if we have enough time to like bring it up, but let me see here. Trev, come and hold the phone up just in front of the main cam. Okay, yeah, throw it up.
It'll suffice.
This looks really good. Like the Esties aren't happening till like late August, early September. But look at the logo that Two Socks put together for the Esties. Slide it right in there, Trev. Let's
get it right up to the. There you go.
Look at that thing.
Yeah, you can get it there. Yeah.
It's like a trophy, but it's got a conch on it. It's amazing. God. Tube Socks does it again. Huge shout out to Tube Socks. That's great. If you've been watching the content today, make sure you give us a sub as we try to work up towards 7,000 subs. That'd be very much appreciated. Sound of the day today. You know, it worked against the Toronto defenseman. Maybe we bang it out again here against Seattle. Do you want to do a Lieutenant Eric edit over the Toronto part? Just say Seattle. I mean, outside of that, it probably works.
I'll get the.
Let's see.
Down.
We'll try it. We'll see. We'll try to hit the Seattle over top of the Toronto here.
I see the oil coming straight towards our end. I go to make my pivot, but I get burned again. I'm stuck out of position, and McDavid's gone. Now I hear those fans are screaming, 'cause that red light's on. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, you'll never play for a living, you'll only play for fun. But I cracked the squad in TO. 2 years at 1.9.
Seattle.
Yes.
Now I'm hung out on the PK against McDavid's line. My coaches are screaming, keep him to the outside, but they ain't tried containing a cheetah who's just done a couple lines. I'm caught out of position, and McDavid's gone. I just hope I still have my job when we get back home. I should not be saying, but let's just make this clear. McDavid and Austin Matthews ain't in the same hemisphere. I'm stuck out of position, and McDavid's gone. Now Rogers' place, it is exploded, 'cause that red light's on.
Oh, yeah. Edmonton Oilers look to make it 12 in a row tonight. I guess that technically isn't even the sound of the day. That's kind of just to try to get you fired up. Because we got this scared play-by-play kid for the sound of the day, which is going to tie right into text of the day here coming up.
The rush. Pulls it back there, and now Murphy. Murphy throws the pass across. And that puck's going to go out of play here, and that's going to do it for that sequence right there. 9:25 left. I apologize if I just damaged your eardrums there. It went right over the mesh, right over my head. So, oh my God, I apologize for that. I'm sorry. Everyone's few people look at me. I'm fine. I'm fine. Oh my God, I apologize for that one.
And that last bit is the Peter Griffin coming out there.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The last part is this is good.
The rush.
The rush.
That's how they should bring out the Saskatchewan Rush every game. I mean, just play that.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
Let's go to text of the day from the Doc. You got that? The Doc will win text of the day today?
Okay, let's have it.
Me, when I saw my first boob on TV, courtesy of Fridays Without Borders on Showcase.
Man, Fridays Without Borders, hey?
Oh, that's pretty good. Doc, congratulations, man. You have won a gift certificate to A and W. Go get your hands on the pickle party.
That's Fridays Without Borders.
Yeah. The A&W Spicy Dill Pickle Mama Burger is back. Also now available as a Buddy Burger, starting at just $3.99. These grass-fed beef burgers topped with pickles, onion slice, real cheddar cheese, slathered in the creamy spicy dill pickle sauce, available for a limited time only at A&W.
Judge?
The judge is here.
The judge is here.
Your Honor.
The judge is here. It is time for Scalding Hot Takes. Your Honor. Dealing with a little bit of traffic this morning, he was. He's going to join us. Scalding Hot Takes for Claiborne Services. We were talking a little bit about work opportunities early in the show today. Claiborne Services hiring all levels, apprentices, bricklayer, journeymen. Visit their website, claiborneservices.com, for more information over there. They are going on a hiring spree right now for the spring. So if you're looking for work, you're looking for a change in your career and a career they can really sort of dive into, Claiborne Services has that for you at claiborneservices.com. Your Honor, Joaquin Gage. Slide in front of that mic there.
No one rose when I entered the room.
Geez,
I did. I did.
Trev did right. Sorry.
Except for Trev, so that's...
Your Grace. Sorry, Your Grace. All right, here we go. Scalding Hot Takes. So how it works, Trev is the defending champion. So, Trev, you will go first this time. Eric, you will go second. I have the hammer. And, best takes win.
You're just bestowing the hammer upon
to your
yourself,
honor,
right?
Joaquin Gage is going to be... Well, no, it always rotates.
Is that what it... Okay, yeah.
That's how it always worked. The person who wins there goes first, and then comes to you, and then over to me. All right. Are you guys ready?
Born ready.
Born ready. Listen to this guy. All right, here we go. Scalding Hot Takes. Trev will be up first.
Time now for Scalding Hot Takes.
Last week's Scalding Hot Takes win. Easiest win of my life.
Careful, that takes hot.
Mike McCarthy has nude photos of Jerry Jones that he took himself.
Hot take alert.
The Detroit Pistons have been shooting so many bricks, they qualify as second-year apprentices at Claiborne Services.
That's a hot take.
I miss Coach's Corner more than Shaq misses free throws.
The hottest of takes.
Post Malone should have been Karl Malone's nickname.
Wow, scalding hot take.
If Scotty Bowman and John Wooden had a kid and Stoff raised it, it would be Chris Knobloch.
Careful, that takes hot.
Pascal Siakam, more like good riddance.
Hot take alert.
If Dustin from Nelson keeps this up, he may surpass Brett Kissel as Canada's country songbird.
That's a hot take.
YouTube Trev is going to win Hot Takes Rookie of the Year, unless he gets hurt and they give it to that bastard Artemi Panarin again.
The hottest of takes.
My mustache has scored more than Connor Brown this season.
Wow, scalding hot take.
If the Leafs keep losing, the Jays might look at bumping up spring training just to keep TSN and Sportsnet relevant.
Careful, that takes hot.
The Oilers are so hot right now, Iwanek wants to save them in his freezer to spice up meals in the future.
Hot take alert.
The only thing longer than LT's hair is Dustin Nielsen's Scalding Hot Takes losing streak.
Ooh, that's a hot take.
The last time the trade market for Elvis was this soft, he ended up gaining lots of weight and having a cardiac arrhythmia.
The hottest of takes.
Eberle's two front teeth are jealous of McLeod's two front teeth.
Wow, scalding hot take.
All right, there we go. Scalding Hot Takes to wrap the show today for Claiborne Services. And Your Honor, presiding among the competition, it looks like the Honorable Joaquin Gage is adding up his totals as we speak. And it might be a tight one if he has to add these up that closely. Maybe it's not a runaway. I will say
it's
this.
Close.
Good
it's
effort
close
today, boys.
Yeah, that was really close.
Good effort today. It was a tough one last night. I had a little bit of writer's block. I didn't finish my takes till like just after midnight last night. So it was a late one.
It was a close one. That was very close. Well done, guys. Well done, Trev. But I have to say, This is not unlike the Oilers. There's a start of a streak here.
Whoa!
And YouTube Trev
No way.
keeps the mitt for another week.
YouTube Trev gets it done again.
Wow.
My goodness. What does this mean to you, Trev?
Your Honor.
You've never lost.
Thank you.
Your Honor.
Your Honor. Your Grace.
Thank you very
wow.
much.
Wow. No, it means a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking all week for these ones. So this is something. I go home and I'm like, Scalding Hot Takes. It's I want to keep the streak going for as long as possible. And this is sweet. But kudos to you guys. Like those were some really good ones, honestly.
Listen to the rookie being like, "Nice work, guys. Good takes, guys."
That mustache one.
Man, the mustache one was good.
Yeah, I like that one.
I think the one that I thought was funniest was Post Malone should have been Carl Malone.
That's good.
That was so good. Yeah. Scalding Hot Takes brought to you by Clayburn Services. Let's all rise and let the judge go take his spot.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Grace.
All right, the judge gets it done. Again, Trev, congratulations, buddy. What a way to wrap up a Thursday show.
Thanks, boys. Yeah, I mean, this is awesome. I'm loving this. Let's keep it going. I cannot wait for next Thursday.
Filthy says, YTT with the mustache take should be his signature on his email. All right, that is going to do it for the Nielsen Show today. Stick around. Your Honor, Joaquin Gage, will be on the Hangout today with Kevin Radomski from the Oil Kings. And don't put that up there right now. Tommy Gazzold's going to have an arrhythmia or whatever it is.
Cardiac arrhythmia.
Yeah. Hangout's going to be good. Turn on autoplay. We'll be back breaking down the Oilers' 12th consecutive victory tomorrow morning on the show because a loss to Seattle will be a major buzzkill for a Friday.
And the Mitt's back on the pre and post.
And the Mitt will be back on the pre and post tonight. Just don't let Tommy see it laying around. Yeah. That would not be good. For YouTube Travel, Lieutenant Eric, I'm Dustin Nielson. Tell your friends about Edmonton Sports Talk. They can listen on TuneIn. They can listen to EdmontonSportsTalk.com. They can watch on YouTube every single day. Lock Shop coming up at 11. Two guys in the goalie with myself, Gage, and Cass around noon today here. And then pre- and post-game tonight on Edmonton Sports Talk for the Edmonton Oilers as they look to continue to remain red hot. Have a great day and take it easy.